been 12 years since Dick Hauser's Kansas City Royals wrapped up the I-70 World Series with the Royals' only World Championship. The Royals beat the Cardinals in 7 games. Tonight, memories relived. The I-70 Series. The Royals and Cardinals next from Fox Sports Rocky Mountain. Face looks familiar. Why, it's Mark McGwire, the former slugger of the Oakland A's. He's back in town, attired in St. Louis Cardinal garb. Interleague baseball coming up tonight from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The Royals host the Cardinals in the first of 3 over the weekend. Greetings to you from Kauffman Stadium, along with Royals Hall of Famer Paul Splittorff. I'm Bob Davis. Royals and the Cardinals interleague play. It's in an American League ballpark. That means the designated hitter. That's good news for the Royals because red-hot Chili Davis is in the lineup.
There's nobody hotter in the Royals lineup right now than Chili Davis. He is leading the way, and the Royals have been scoring a lot of runs, but you can see what Chili Davis has done in the month of August. A .340 batting average, 24 RBIs already this month. In fact, 4 consecutive games he had hit home runs, and he has been leading the way as far as the home run charge has been for the Royals. The Royals have been able to get the ball out of the ballpark, and on most days, Chili Davis has led the way, but he's had some support as well.
Boy, you talk about the I-70 Series. That evokes all the memories of 1985 and the great World Series won by the Royals in 7 games. But you scan the rosters this year, 12 years later, only one name. The venerable Willie McGee is still hacking away with success for the Cardinals.
Most of these players were not playing professional baseball back in 1985, but Willie McGee continues to get it done for the St. Louis Cardinals. Back in 85, that .353 batting average led the league, and he also won the MVP in the National League that year. Still playing pretty well for St. Louis right now, even though he's a backup outfielder, number 4 outfielder, but he's in the lineup tonight.
And Willie McGee will be the DH, so he is in the lineup. Jim Pitchley will be on the mound for the Royals. Sean Lowe, just up from AAA for the Cardinals, pitches for the Redbirds. The Cardinals and Royals coming up next from Kauffman Stadium. Hope you enjoy it right here on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain. Welcome to Kauffman Stadium. We are underway with the ball game. The leadoff man for the Cardinals, Delino DeShields, swinging at the second offering from Jim Pitchley, and he rips a single into left field. Here's a look at it, and we'll get you up to date with what's going on. The leadoff man, DeShields, hitting at .283, lines a single to left, and the Cardinals have a base runner. So 1 on here for St. Louis. The batter will be the shortstop, Royce Clayton. Jim Pitchley called up from Omaha to pitch this ball game. Throws a strike to Clayton, who's hitting .255, 8 home runs. He's driven in 47. Bob Davis with Paul Splittorff at Kauffman Stadium, Kansas City. You know, we talked about Mike Bordick the last few days in Baltimore, the man who replaced Cal Ripken at short. Ripken moving over to third. This guy replaced the legend at shortstop, the great Ozzie Smith. And a move to first, and the runner DeShields is back. Delino DeShields has 44 stolen bases. He's been caught stealing just 9 times. So 1 on, nobody out here as the Cardinals lead off the ball game. First of 3 over the weekend. And here's a pitch that's low for a ball, 1-1.
Bob, you might have noticed Royce Clayton looking down at the Royals' third baseman, Dean Palmer, to check out his positioning. So many of these Cardinal hitters are very good at handling the bat. They're not opposed to laying down the bunt. And like most St. Louis Cardinal teams, they got guys that can get out and run the bases. DeShields on at first base has 44 steals. Clayton, the hitter, has 24 stolen bases this year.
All right, a ball and a strike to count on Royce Clayton. 6'7" Jim Pitchley instead turns and throws to first. They almost got DeShields stumbling off the bag. Jeff King, the Royals' first sacker, playing the inside of the bag over there to the speedy Delino DeShields, formerly the Expos and the Dodgers. Kind of a late arriving crowd here at Kauffman Stadium. The game very close to a sellout. but a lot of traffic tied up apparently outside the ballpark. And again, a throw to first, and again, DeShields gets back.
Bob, I talked to a couple of the security officers just before the start of today's game out in the lobby, and they say they have tremendous traffic jams out in the ballpark, or out in the parking lots. This is the way it used to be. About 10 years ago, you had to leave home early to get to the stadium, and unfortunately, that hasn't been the case the last few years.
Well, has some great crowds here this weekend. Here's a check swing grounder. If the runner goes to second, they get the put out at first on Royce Clayton. And the Cardinals have a runner at second with one out. Let's take a look at the lineup since ball game got underway a little bit early. DeShields and Clayton, you've seen. Mark McGwire now will bat third. Then it's Ray Langford, Willie McGee, Gary Gaetti, Ron Gant, and Mike DeFelice and Phil Plantier, the right fielder. And Tony La Russa, of course, the skipper of the Redbirds.
I think the fans in St. Louis found out something last year about Tony La Russa that all of us in the American League have known for a long time. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he can hit the ball a long way, can't he? McGwire's hit 8 home runs for the Cardinals since joining their ball club. He has 42 overall. Of course, he had 34 with the Oakland A's.
Jim Pitsley making his 16th start and appearance of this season, looking for his 4th win of the campaign. Lofty earned run average. 91 hits allowed in 83 innings of work, and the walks or strikeouts are dead even.
And a bluff move to second. Interesting experience for Pitsley, and of course his counterpart, Sean Lowe, both coming up from AAA for this start. They'll get to pitch against Major League competition in front of a Major League crowd here tonight. McGwire with 42 home runs and a fastball inside, ball 2.
So this is where you need to work. In on the hands of Mark McGwire, keep him from getting extended, and Pitsley threw his quickest fastball of the ball game on that last pitch.
Boy, dangerous ground here with McGwire ahead in the count 2-0. Runner at second with one out. There's the strike. The home plate umpire, Larry McCoy. It's an American League crew working here tonight.
When McGwire first went over to the Cardinals, Bob, he was batting 4th in their lineup, but a lot of teams were starting to walk him intentionally. He is not your classic number 3 hitter, much more of a number 4 guy, but Tony La Russa has adjusted their batting order, trying to force teams to face McGwire. He inserted Ray Langford in behind him.
2 balls and a strike to Mark McGwire. And over the inner edge, strike 2. McGwire certainly saw some familiar faces when he joined the Cardinals. They have a number of former Oakland A's on their roster. Big Mac's not too sure about that last call, is he?
Well, he wants the ball out over the plate, and you need to work him on that inside part of the plate to be effective against him. Still a pretty good 2-strike hitter.
2 balls and 2 strikes on McGwire. Now McGwire stepping out.
He is a dead pull hitter. And take a look at the third base coach, Rene Latchman. He's closer to the warning track than he is the coach's box.
McGwire up there with a count of 2-2. And a ground ball to third. Gloved by Palmer. He looks the runner back to second and throws out McGwire.
So let's take a look at the Kansas City defense. You just saw Dean Palmer at third base alongside Jay Bell. Jed Hansen on the right side of the infield with Jeff King. The infield, or the outfield, has Jermaine Dye, Johnny Damon, and Jamil Benitez from right field on over to left. Mike Sweeney will do the catching tonight for Pitsley.
So Pitsley an out away from getting out of this first inning. Tony Muser, who was coaching with the Chicago Cubs the first half of this season, obviously would be very familiar with the St. Louis Cardinal ball club. Cardinals and Cubs go round and round. Well, it's going to be a beautiful sight here at Kauffman Stadium. Pitsley needs to get a tough batter here in Ray Langford. Langford, the left-handed hitting center fielder. Hitting in the 4th spot on the order, and a breaking ball missed inside, ball 1. Langford has a .310 batting average, 25 home runs, and he's driven in 85.
Everybody thought last year was his best year at .275 with 21 home runs, 86 RBIs, but he will surpass those numbers this season.
They are missing Brian Jordan, who's on the disabled list. Well, they have an outstanding offensive outfield when you have Ron Gant, Langford, and Jordan all in there together.
Well, this Cardinal team has been straddled with injuries all season long. They have had problems with the players going on and off the disabled list. Offense has been a big problem for them as well. They rank 12th in the National League in runs scored.
They've got a lot of speed. Langford, the fourth-place hitter. The lineup has 17 stolen bases. There's a strike. 2-1 now to Ray Langford. DeShields led off with a single. Then Clayton, a slow grounder to the second baseman, Hansen. He was thrown out at first. McGwire grounded out to third. And DeShields on at second with 2 gone and a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Ray Langford. Jim Pitsley with change speeds and a breaking pitch taken for a strike. Well, that was well thrown by Pitsley. He had Langford just frozen up there.
Jim Pitsley will change speeds on you from time to time. He's got a pretty good fastball. He'll also cut it, make it look like a slider, a curveball, and a straight changeup. More competitive now at this point in the season than he was early on.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Jim Pitsley has won 3 games with the Major League Ball Club this year, trying to get number 4 tonight in his 16th big league start of the season. Tony Muser getting a good look at the tall right-hander in this game. 2-2 to Langford. And the count goes full, 3-2. Well, he came inside with a breaking pitch, threw the hard stuff outside. We'll see what he does here on 3-2. Pitsley needs an out here to get out of the inning without the Cardinals able to score a run after the leadoff man got on. And Langford draws a walk. So the Redbirds have 2 on and 2 out.
Willie McGee, the veteran of 15 years in the big leagues, he's modeled a couple different uniforms over the last few years. But back in St. Louis and playing well.
Well, he played for a while for LaRussa with the A's. A ground ball is foul. Jeff King over to make the play, but it's in foul ground, strike 1. Willie McGee, the owner of 2 National League batting titles. We mentioned in the Open, 1985 he won it. Then he played for LaRussa with the A's latter part of the season in 90, and he had enough at-bats, enough plate appearances, and a lofty enough batting mark to still win the batting title that year in the National League, even though he finished the year with the A's. 1 strike to Willie McGee, hitting at .312. And it's 1-1. Willie McGee, the DH tonight, 38 years old now.
We most recently saw him, Bob, a couple years ago when he was a member of the Boston Red Sox. In fact, 67 games with Boston that season, more than what he played for Tony La Russa back in 1990. He played 29 games for the A's that year.
Here's the 1-1 to Willie McGee. Off the plate, ball 2, 2-1. And Pitsley struggling a little bit here in the first inning. He gave up the leadoff single and got a couple of harmless ground ball outs, slowly hit ground balls by Clayton and McGwire. Then a walk to Langford. Now Pitsley down in the count to Willie McGee. And a little tap evens the count at 2-2. Tony Muser, who saw his team win 2 out of 3 this week at Baltimore. Hey, the Birds extremely hot. That was a good series for the visiting Royals.
Well, that was a tough series for the Royals. The Birds had been playing very well, and they had their top 3 pitchers matched up against the Royals, guys that are having outstanding years. Among the top pitchers in all of baseball. They'll face a new guy here tonight.
And another flock of birds here with the Cardinals. Now McGee stepping out. 2 on, 2 out, a 2-2 count. Willie McGee, the switch hitter. And a little tap, foul outside first. We'll do it again. Pitsley laboring here in the first inning. He's had to make a lot of pitches. Runner at second is Delino DeShields. He has terrific speed. And a good base runner at first as well with Ray Langford. Cardinals' overall team speed is outstanding. Now Pitsley once again to make the 2-2 pitch to Willie McGee. And with the second batter in a row, he goes the distance.
Well, you hate the 3-ball counts, Bob, because that gives those base runners an opportunity to run as soon as you deliver the pitch. Something's got to give with the count going full against Willie McGee.
Delino DeShields ready to start his engine at second base. Langford to the lead at first. Now the 3-2 to Willie McGee. Fly ball to left. Hit fairly well. Back goes Benitez. Backpedaling and on the track. He hauls it in. That ball just kept carrying, but it's out number 3. So the Redbirds get a couple of runners on, but they fail to score as McGee hit a long drive to left. No score of Cardinals. Royals coming to bat. The Royals on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain, brought to you by the Discover card. It pays to discover. By the Missouri Division of Tourism, looking for a great vacation getaway? Wake up to Missouri. By the Champion Automobile Superstore on the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road and Independence. And by Southwestern Bell, your friendly neighborhood global communications company. Have a nice day. Well, the Cardinals, Paul Spudorf got a couple of runners on, and then a long drive off the bat of Willie McGee just kept carrying to left, but Jamil Benitez was able to go out there and make the play, and no score for the Cardinals. The Royals come to bat in the home half of the first. Well, the Royals will bat here in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Johnny Damon, Jed Hansen, and Jay Bell. And there's the strike to Johnny Damon. And a ground ball hit to the shortstop. Clayton's got a good glove and a close play at first, but he throws out Damon. Oh, the Royals' first batter is retired short to first. Let's take a look at the Royals lineup and batting order. You've seen Johnny Damon, Jed Hansen, rookie second baseman hits next, then it's Jay Bell. Chili Davis, the DH. Dean Palmer at third. Jeff King had a big home run yesterday at Camden Yards. Then Jermaine Dye, Jamil Benitez, and Mike Sweeney round out the Royal batting order. Facing the youngster Paul Spudorf, Sean Lowe, just up from AAA Louisville.
It's an emergency start for Lowe. Todd Stottlemyre was the scheduled starter here tonight, but he has some tenderness in his right shoulder, so he is scratched. He is a guy that the Royals would know very well, but Sean Lowe with his numbers from the AAA level, 6-10 record and a 4.37 earned run average. He's a strikeout guy. Look at that, 117 strikeouts in about 130 innings of pitching so far this summer.
And a count of 0-2 on the Royals' second place hitter, Jed Hansen. And Lowe throws, and he missed with a pitch. Ball 1-2. Great to have you with us tonight on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain. I-70 baseball, the Royals and the Cardinals. Now it's 2-2. I remember one of the great signs split back in 1985 when these two teams hooked up for all the marbles in professional baseball, and a sign at the ballpark said, "Let's take state." And a wave and a miss at the breaking pitch, and two Royals are down here in the first inning. And Sean Lowe, who was 6-10, AAA Louisville, has the first two outs here in the home half of the first inning.
Tell you what, these folks from St. Louis drive awful fast coming into the ballpark here this afternoon. People dressed in red just flying by me. Don't they have speed limits over there on that side of the state?
Well, you don't exactly dally around. You're right up there pushing the envelope, right at the speed limit, I should add, but right there. I suspect there are folks in attendance here tonight from virtually all parts of the state. Jay Bell's the batter. It's 2-0.
The St. Louis defense is a good one. Ron Gant plays left field. Ray Langford in center. Phil Plantier, the former Milwaukee Brewer, out in right field. Mark McGwire, Delino DeShields on the right side. It's Royce Clayton. Former Royal Gary Gaetti getting the start at third base tonight. Mike DeFelice is their catcher.
3-0 to Jay Bell. Gary Gaetti. Little peek at Gary playing over at third. Lowe's 3-0 pitch. And he walks Bell on 4 pitches. Oh, the Royals get a 2-out base runner. On the walk by the right-hander, Sean Lowe.
Some of the Royals have seen Lowe this year at the minor league level. The big league guys haven't seen him. Former first-round pick back in June of '92. Tony La Russa called him up within the last 24 hours as an emergency starter. Lowe is out of Arizona State University. Went to the big league camp that next year. It was part of his contract and his signing bonus that he went to the big league camp. Was not in camp with the big league team this year for the Cardinals. He was only in the minor league camp.
He's from the Dallas area, went to Mesquite High School. All-state performer in both baseball and basketball. He's 6'2". He pitches to Chili Davis. And Chili with a hot bat up there takes ball 1. And DeFelice, the catcher, walks the ball out to the mound to talk to the young right-hander. Cardinals threatened but failed to score in the first. Royals have a 2-out runner in the home half of the first. And the Redbirds know a mistake to Chili Davis, it could be a quick 2-0 ball game. Chili Davis with 27 home runs. He's driven in 80 runs. Just having a sensational month of August. And hitting an even 300 into play tonight. 2-0 to Chili. There's a little electricity in the air. It's a kind of a special feeling here tonight. There's Jay Bell at first. And a foul to the left side, out of play. You see behind home plate the bunting. That's usually reserved for opening day and postseason. So it is special, right?
I think this is an important series, especially for the Royals, trying to gain attendance out in the middle part of the state of Missouri and down in the southwestern portion of the state. You can be sure people came in from not exactly all over this state, Bob, but figure all over Iowa down into the series this weekend. A lot of Cardinal fans on hand, a lot of red. I guess we'll just have to consider that Kansas City Chiefs fans, huh? Kind of used to that.
There's a throw to first. Bell gets back.
Yeah, the Chiefs fans are out watching some baseball here this weekend.
All right. There's some royal blue for you. 2 balls and a strike to Chili Davis. There could be some families divided here this weekend.
I hope so. It's supposed to be that way.
A 2-1 pitch to Chili, and he cranks it hard to right field. In comes the right fielder, though, and Plantier makes the catch for the out. Boy, that ball was a rope. But the Royals got a 2-out base runner. They failed to score. We've completed 1 in KC. 0-0.
No score as we move on to the top of the second inning. Both teams get base runners in the first inning, but unable to move them around to score. Gary Gaetti will lead things off for the Cardinals here in the top of the second.
Gary Gaetti, who just a couple of years ago was playing here in Kansas City. Well, what a great season he had for the Royals in '95. There's a swinging strike to the Redbird third baseman.
He is the subject of our Discover Card scouting report tonight. Gary, now 39 years old, still a dead pull hitter. He likes to use that uppercut swing, hit the ball in the air.
And a ball down the line in right is a fair ball, and Gaetti pumping towards second. And in with a double. He's going to try for 3. Dye's got the great arm. He is safe. Gary Gaetti needing a breath of air at third base. He tested Jermaine Dye, and he made it. Dye had a pretty strong throw, but great hustle by Gary Gaetti. A leadoff triple.
Well, Bob, I talk about Gaetti being a dead pull hitter. The reason he's able to get the triple on the check swing is the Royals are shaded way up into the alley in right center field. Long run for Jermaine Dye. He had as long a run to make to pick up the ball as Gaetti did going home to third. Close play at third, but Gaetti just able to make it in time. And he's winded.
I was surprised to see him around second and keep going.
Well, that's his first triple of the season.
Well, But now the runner at third. And nobody out. The batter will be the left fielder, Ron Gant, who takes ball one. Well, Gant has had a lot of success against right-handers. Gant hitting, though, just .228 into this ball game tonight. 14 homers, 54 driven in. Former Atlanta Brave, played a year with the Cincinnati Reds. There's the strike, 1-1 to Gant. Gant, 32 years old now, had 30 home runs with the Redbirds last year. Virtually everybody on these two ball clubs seeing a new pitcher tonight, with a couple of exceptions from the minor leagues, and Mark McGwire having been in the American League. 2-1 to Gant. Cardinals had a chance to grab an early lead in the first. They stranded a couple of base runners. They've got their leadoff man at third here in the second. Cardinals are 61-72. Royals 54-76. There's a strike, 2-2 to Ron Gant.
Cardinals come into tonight's game with a 2-game winning streak, Bob, and Royals have played well over the last few days, winning 2 of 3 in that series against the Baltimore Orioles. You mentioned a different kind of bird. We've seen a lot of birds lately. The Blue Jays were in last weekend.
That's right. 2-2 to Ron Gant. Pitsley could use a strikeout. Instead, it's way inside, ball 3, and the third A's batter, who has gone the distance with Jim Pitsley.
Pitsley has worked all of the Cardinal right-handed hitters inside so far tonight, so the general scouting report would be on this Cardinal team. Good out over the plate to the outer half of the plate. Try to keep them from extended, work them with the fastball inside. That's the way he's pitched everybody so far.
Here's the 3-2. And he walked him, and the Cardinals have him at the corners with nobody out.
Let's check out our radar gun tonight. The HQ speed check. Tony Muser, starting pitcher. Jim Pitsley. Best fastball was 88 miles an hour. It came in the top of the first inning. On average, he's 86 miles an hour, which is right at Major League average.
So for the second inning in a row, the Cardinals got a couple of base runners on. They had 2 on with 2 out in the first, and Willie McGee flied out deep to left to end the inning. But now here in the second, a leadoff triple by Gaetti. Then a walk to Gant, and now the batter, Mike DeFelice, the catcher. DeFelice hitting .237. And a breaking ball, tapped foul, strike 1. DeFelice just 3 home runs. He's picked it up a bit since the All-Star break. Pagnozzi, normally the #1 catcher of the Redbirds, limited due to injuries this year, and this guy has been the catcher much of the time for Tony La Russa.
Pagnozzi has had a hip flexor problem, and he still can't play regularly. Has to get a lot of rest between outings.
The runner at third is Gary Gaetti. And at first, it's Ron Gant. And a drive foul and into the seats down the left field line. Strike 2. DeFelice in the 8th spot in the Cardinal batting order.
That is where they bat their catchers on most days, Bob, and they're using a platoon situation right now. Tom Lampkin is the other side of the platoon. He's the left-handed hitting catcher. Lampkin more of an offensive threat than DeFelice. DeFelice is a defensive specialist. Kind of a contact hitter. Tries to take the ball up the middle.
2 strikes the count to the 28-year-old catcher. And that's inside and a bit low, ball 1. DeFelice came up briefly with the Cardinals late last year. He's played in 4 games, got a couple of hits. Jim Pitsley trying to wiggle out of this predicament. The leadoff off-field triple by Gaetti. And Ron Gant back at first. Royals would like to get a double play ball. They're in double play position right now. They'd give up a run to get 2 outs. 1-2 to Mike DeFelice. Crowd continuing to arrive here at Kauffman Stadium. And he checked in time. The ball spinning away from Sweeney. It's 2-2. They appeal to first. Gary Gaetti hanging on. The first base umpire, Terry Kraft, indicating that DeFelice checked in time.
This breaking ball, I don't think was ever in the strike zone, probably outside the entire way. DeFelice started to take a hack at it. Pitsley's gone after him in this at bat primarily with breaking balls. Nice play by Sweeney just to keep the ball in front of him.
Now a 2-2 pitch will be upcoming, instead over to first.
Pitsley needs to make a pitch right here. He's already had a lot of 3-ball counts in tonight's game.
Big pitch coming up. And instead to first. Ron Gant has 13 stolen bases. He's been caught stealing 5 times. DeFelice. The 2-ball, 2-strike count. And yet another 3-2 count to a Cardinal batter. Tony Muser in the Royals dugout watching Pitsley pile up the pitch total here in the second inning.
Tony La Russa, if you think back to his managing when he was in the American League, would usually try to turn the tables on you. If you thought it was a running situation, many times he wouldn't. If you didn't think it was a running situation, he'd try to surprise you and advance a base runner. So you really never could predict all that much what he'd do in the course of a ball game.
Well, if Pitsley needed a pitch on 2-2, he really needs one here. The 3-2 delivery and a drive to the gap in left center field will plug the gap and roll all the way to the fence. Gaetti scores easily. Gant will check in with a run. Here he comes, and it's 2-0 St. Louis on the double by the catcher, Mike DeFelice, who is standing at second.
Tell you what, hitters can look pretty good when you've got a 3-2 count on them, and they can pretty much guess that you're going to have to throw them a fastball. And DeFelice, who's supposedly a light hitter, just jumps all over this one right here, and he shoots it into the alley in left center field. Guerrero's playing shallow in center, shallow in right. Gaetti scores from third base, and Ron Gant right behind him all the way from over at first base. Cardinals break on top 2-0.
Well, the leadoff off-field triple, then the walk, now a double. Gaetti in the dugout now, getting a breath of air. Now the batter, Phil Plantier, the right fielder, who takes a breaking ball in for a strike. Plantier, a 261 mark against righties, 241 overall. Popped it up. That should be the first out of the inning. Near second base, Jay Bell has it for out number 1. And Pitsley heads back to the mound.
The second baseman, Delino DeShields.
Redbirds have a couple of runs in the bank here in the second inning. And out of the top of the order, and the second baseman, Delino DeShields, who started the game with a line drive single to left. There's a strike from Pitsley. DeShields, 28, came up with Montreal in 1990. Moved over to the Dodgers in 94. One and one now to DeShields. DeShields choking up on that bat. Now it's 2-1.
Shields, a pretty good leadoff hitter, putting up good extra base numbers when you look at his 11 home runs, 11 triples, 21 doubles. Already career high for him in total extra base hits on a full season. Having a great year.
Here's the 2-1. That's the 33rd pitch thrown by Pitsley. Three balls and a strike. And that's fouled out of play. Yet another 3-2 count. Let me correct myself. I said 33 pitches a moment ago. It should have been 43. All those 3-2 counts add up, don't they? And the foul balls. And here's yet another full count to a Cardinal batter. Pesky Delino DeShields. Now hitting 285 after the first inning single. And a check swing roller to Palmer. Off-balance throw, but he got him. 2 out here in the Cardinals' second. Royals got a break there. Jeff King at first gets the put out. Here's another look.
DeShields trying to lay off of that pitch. A little roller up the third baseline. Like to get some easy outs throughout the course of a ball game on swings like that.
And Palmer made a good play. Now Pitchley needs one more out to end things here in the second. Redbirds have a 2-0 lead. And Pitchley now will deal with the Cardinal shortstop, Royce Clayton. Clayton on a slow roller, grounded out to Jed Hansen in the first. There's ball 1.
You mentioned earlier that Royce Clayton's a lot like Mike Bordick in the American League, trying to fill in for legends at that position. Clayton had to play behind Ozzie Smith last year.
That's right.
Shared playing time in a difficult situation. I think everybody in St. Louis knew that Ozzie had lost quite a bit of his range, and Clayton was clearly the superior defensive player.
Popped it up. That should end the inning. Hansen back, die in. Germain's got it, and the inning is over. But the Royals see the Cardinals score twice to take a 2-0 lead.
Well, the Cardinals get a couple runs on 2 base hits in the top of the second inning. To the bottom of the second we go. The Royals will send up Palmer, King, and Dye. Hey, kids, Sunday, September 7th is Kids Appreciation Day, and it's also Mascot Day here at Kauffman Stadium. You can join Slugger and a lot of his friends, Billy the Marlin, Orbit, Stomper, and more. You can step up to the plate for the pregame mascot autograph session. Again, that's Sunday, September 7th. Got a mascot battle going here tonight, don't we?
Well, they just embraced. Slugger and Fredbird, there they go up into the crowd. Well, they'll be something to behold as the evening moves along. Well, the Royals need a couple of runs. They're down 2-0 as they come to bat in the home half of the second inning. It'll be Dean Palmer, Jeff King, and Jermaine Dye facing the young left-hander Sean Lowe, who's been staked to a 2-run lead by the Cardinals.
Really need to stay on top of this guy. Make sure you keep the Cardinals in close check so you can keep the heat on a guy making his major league debut here tonight.
1-1 to Palmer.
Get a youngster in a game like this with pretty good talent, and he gets a nice, comfortable lead. He could be tough to handle. Let's take a look at the HQ speed check. The work of Sean Lowe, his first inning here tonight. 87 miles an hour was his best fastball, 85 on average for him. He showed a pretty good curveball in that first inning.
And a bouncer glove by Lowe. There's the first out of the inning. Oh, Lowe with a nice fielding play, and Palmer's retired, pitcher to first.
Nice play by Lowe on the follow-through. A little bit easier for the pitcher when you get a high hopper like this. If the ball stays down near the ground, it's a lot more difficult to get to. Get a good look at it, a better chance to make the play if it bounces up above the belt.
Lowe helped his own cause. Now he pitches to Jeff King. King cracked one yesterday in Baltimore before the rains came.
Boy, and did the rains come.
The infield was pretty wet, huh?
I'd never seen a situation where the ground crew could not get the tarp out. It was full of water, and they just quit, threw up their hands, walked off the field, said, we'll deal with this when the rain stops.
And they did. Situation was all wet. Well, the good news for the Royals, they were ahead at the time, and they wound up ahead at the end.
You know, you get a game like that, and many times the game can change. The tempo changes because you've got the hour and a half off, and it did change in yesterday's ball game, but in favor of the Royals, able to get the big home run. Larry Sutton came on as the pinch hitter. Looked pretty good in that role.
2-2 to King. Now 3-2 to Jeff. King has hit well, as we told you in the open on the interleague ball games. And it's ball 4. So the Royals got a one-out base runner. Jeff King draws a walk. Tony La Russa, that's a familiar face. Tony La Russa, many years the manager of the White Sox, 79 to 86. He managed the A's from 86 to 95. Graduate of Florida State University Law School.
And Jamie Quirk was on his staff. Well, kind of on his staff. He was a backup catcher, the number 3 catcher in Oakland. Didn't play very much, but learned a ton from Tony La Russa and his staff. Rene Latchman, the third base coach. Dave McKay, their first base coach, was on that staff, as was Dave Duncan, the pitching coach. Jamie will tell you, the Royals know a lot about their staff, not a whole lot about their players.
This is Jermaine Dye. Dye a year ago with the Atlanta Braves. Saw a lot of the Cardinals. Boy, the Braves and Cardinals had quite a playoff series, didn't they? There's a ground ball, could be two. Clayton to DeShields and to McGwire, and they turn the double play, and the inning is over. Royals get a base runner, but no runs. We've completed two here at Kauffman Stadium. The Cardinals still lead it 2-0.
Come to the plate in the top of the third inning, holding that 2-0 lead. They scored a couple times in the top of the second. Hey, the Royals would like to say thanks to their fans on Saturday, September 20th, when they will be taking on the Cleveland Indians in a 7:05 game time. All fans will have a chance to win a 1998 Nissan Altima, also a $2,000 diamond ring from the Noble House, Price Chopper $500 shopping spree, and more prizes that night. It's Fan Appreciation Night, September 20th at Kauffman Stadium.
Well, Jim Pitsley, who gave up a couple of runs in the second, needs to keep them close. 2-0 Cardinals. They'll bat in the third inning. And it's Mark McGwire leading off, and he takes the slider outside for ball one. Boy, McGwire, I don't care what uniform he's got on, and it still looks strange to see him in something other than that of the Oakland A's. He still looks menacing, doesn't he?
He put on quite a show in batting practice here this afternoon. Hit a ball clear to the top of the bleachers in left field. It bounced around back in the concession area.
Ouch.
Cleared the water display, hit one up near the flags in left field.
2-0 to McGwire, leading off the third inning. And now 3-0. Think McGwire will re-up with the Cardinals?
Well, his contract is due at the end of this season. They're not even talking right now. McGwire says he wants to wait till the end of the season to get into the contract negotiations.
And he draws a walk on 4 pitches. And Pitsley has issued his third walk of the ball game.
The center fielder, Ray Langford.
That's the one area that Mark McGwire can not hurt you. That's when he's on base. He's a way below average runner, especially now. He's playing with a sore leg. Fouled a couple pitches off his leg, so he's not running well at all. Pitsley needs to throw more strikes. Not throwing enough strikes in tonight's ball game to give himself much of a chance.
Pitsley now again working from the stretch, and he'll deal with a fourth-place hitter, Langford, and a base hit to right. First and second, nobody out. Here come the Cardinals again. And Jim Pitsley continues to struggle.
The designated hitter, Willie McGee.
Bruce Keeson, the Royals pitching coach, on the phone to the bullpen.
Pitsley made a pretty good pitch right here to Langford. It was a breaking ball down and out over the plate. Got the ground ball, but with King tied up at the runner at first base, it was able to shoot by him and get into right field. Cardinals have had their leadoff man on in every inning here tonight against Pitsley. Boy, Willie McGee, will he be asked to bunt right here? McGwire on at second base. We already talked about his speed being way below average.
He showed no sign of bunting there. There's a strike. Willie hit a ball a long way to left his first time up. It was gloved right up against the fence by Jamil Benitez. There's a pitch out of the strike zone, 1-1. Cardinals have had runners in each of the first 3 innings. They stranded 2 runners. In the first, they plated a couple of runs and left 1 on in the second. Now 2 on, nobody out here in the third. Oh, way off the mark with that pitch to McGee, and Sweeney runs the ball out to the mound.
Ricky Bonas working in the Royals bullpen. Had been a member of the starting rotation, but when Jim Pitsley came in, he was eased out. Tim Belcher will get a start later in the weekend. He missed some time recently with a sore right knee.
Bruce Keeson and Tony Muser watching from the dugout. A 2-1 pitch to McGee. And here it is. And a strike over the outer edge. 2-2. Cardinals already with 4 hits. The Royals without a hit through 2 innings, facing the youngster just up from Louisville. Now Willie McGee steps out for a moment as the ball got loose out in the Royal bullpen.
Mentioned Willie McGee's now a backup outfielder. Last year he had a tremendous year as a pinch hitter. In fact, he led the Cardinals in pinch hitting batting average.
Well, he's a veteran hitter. He knows how to handle most every situation. And he sends a foul ball behind home plate. No chance for Sweeney. It's on the screen, on the net, down below us. The count stays 2-2. Pitchley gets a new baseball.
McGee also leads this Cardinals team in plate appearances as a pinch hitter. 39 at-bats, 14 hits. So he has been their most used pinch hitter again this season.
Well, in his heydays, he was a good RBI man who didn't hit a lot of home runs. But he moved base runners and knocked them in. The 2-2 pitch. Hit sharply, gloved by Palmer. They get the out at second and safe at first. McGee is on at first. They get the out at second base.
Well, it's just tough to double this guy out. The one thing he still does is run very well. Palmer staggers a little bit after he catches that ball. Hansen turns it over in great shape, but Willie McGee just coasting down that first baseline, beat the relay throw easily. Rouse got one out of the deal.
Oh, now the Redbirds have him on at the corners with one out. McGee, the runner at first. And the batter will be Gaetti, who tripled down the line in right in the second inning and later scored the Cardinals' first run. And a breaking pitch in for strike one to Gaetti. Gary Gaetti's career appeared to be over for the Angels, and he joined the Royals and did a quality job. Now he's extended his career in the National League. That ball almost hit him. In fact, it did hit him. And the bases will be loaded.
So, Bob, you talk about how he maybe saved his career. I don't think there's any doubt that he did save his career as we get another look at that last pitch. Gary was very disappointed that the Cardinals let him go after just 20 ball games back in '93, and he was thinking about retiring from baseball, and he thought, well, what the heck, I'll give one more shot. And he came here with the Royals and worked out with them for several weeks. The Royals needed some power in their lineup, and he came in, hit .256 in the latter part of '93 with 14 home runs and 46 RBIs. Then things really took off for him. Solid season in '94, great season in '95. 35 home runs, 96 RBIs, and he did, in fact, save his career. And still playing well right now for St. Louis.
Talking to first base coach Dave McKay. Speaking of conversations, he'll be one on the mound here as Bruce Keeson goes out there. Split Pitchley has delivered 60 pitches. 33 have been strikes. And now the bases are loaded with just one out here in the third inning. Cardinals already up 2-0.
Now, Pitchley is really working inside to all the right-handed hitters. And I think that's taken him out of the strike zone a little bit because he's trying to be too fine with the fastball. Has to believe in his stuff that he can get major league hitters out. Remember the St. Louis Cardinal team, 13th in the National League in batting average, 12th in the league in runs scored. They're now one of the more powerful teams over there. Got to have confidence in your stuff, the ability to throw strikes.
They're playing without two of their best bats. Jordan, we told you about him earlier. John Mabry, the solid first baseman outfielder, good offensive player. Here's ball one to Ron Gant. Well, there's no place to put this guy. Gant walked in the second, scored the Cardinals' second run. Runner at third is McGwire. And down at second, Willie McGee. And Gaetti off the bag at first. 1-0 to Ron Gant. Blocked by Sweeney. It's 2-0.
Boy, Sweeney's already saved a couple of runs just against this batter right here, just by keeping the ball in front of him. Ron Gant is the kind of guy who's not very selective at the plate, Bob, but you got to get ahead of him in the count.
Well, Pitchley down in the count, and Tony Muser has seen enough.
I'm not sure they're going to let him go out there. They just had a visit, and when they did not take him out of the game, Pitchley has to face another hitter. And Larry McCoy, the home plate umpire, stops Tony Muser before he even gets into fair territory. You know, if the Royals wanted to pull Pitsley, they needed to do it when Bruce Keesman was out there. It was at the end of the at-bat after he had hit Gary Gaetti. Right. Now, if it was in the middle of the at-bat, he finishes that at-bat against Gaetti. The umpires are close that gate, get the relief pitcher back in there. They're not going to allow Tony Muser to make the pitching change. Ricky Bonas was already out of the pen.
Yep.
He was on his way in. This is the second visit in the inning, but umpires are not going to let Muser make the visit right now. Pitsley's going to have to face Gant.
And the Royal skipper heads back to the dugout.
Tony Muser knew that. He was just hoping he could get away with it, and the umpires would say, oh, no, it's in the middle of the at-bat. Larry McCoy was all over it.
So, back to the drawing boards here for Pitsley. He's down in the count to a veteran hitter, Ron Gant. Gant admittedly not having a good year, but throughout most of his career, an outstanding RBI man. And boy, he's set up here 2-0. Only one out, and the base is loaded. He can really sit on a pitch in this spot. He doesn't get it. Strike one.
You can get swings out of him on pitches like that if you can get ahead in the count. But Pitsley needs to get ahead in the count, throw strikes consistently early in the at-bat, put himself in a good position to give those hitters a chance to help him out.
Well, the Royals could sure use a double play. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Ron Gant, the Cardinal left fielder. And now it's 3-1. Pitsley could well be facing his last batter. Trying to get a little breath out there on a warm night. 3-1 to Ron Gant. Ground ball. Backhanded by Bell, and they get the out at third. A run scores, but what a play by Jay Bell. That may prevent a big inning. They get the out at third. McGwire scored. It's now 3-0, but take another look.
Take a look at the high hop that Jay Bell had to handle. That ball took the bad hop and almost kicked behind him. He was able to flag it down. Palmer scrambling to get back to third base. He was chasing the ball in the hole. Almost took himself out of position. McGwire scores the run to make it 3-0 St. Louis. This angle might give us a better look at the ground ball. See that high hop? Almost skipped behind the head of Jay Bell. His only play is to third base. Way off balance. No chance for him to wheel around and make a play for the runner going to second.
Jay Bell talking to Gaetti out there, and a pitching change being made. Tony Muser at the mound. We'll look at the new pitcher, Ricky Bonas, when we return.
He goes just 2 2/3 innings, but charged with 3 runs so far, responsible for a couple base runners on for the Cardinals. So Jim Pitsley, a disappointing outing here tonight, will give way to Ricky Bonas. Bonas has worked both as a starter and reliever for the Royals this year, most recently as a starter. And pretty solid in the starting rotation, working in the number 5 spot in the Royals starting rotation. Ricky Bonas opened the season as a member of the Cincinnati Reds. It had a deal worked out to where if he got a chance to come back out of the minor leagues with another club, that he could make his own deal. That's how he ended up here in Kansas City. Bonas, a former All-Star in the early 90s with the Milwaukee Brewers. Fastball, curveball, slider pitcher, also has a straight changeup, as you see his season's numbers. Bonas appears for the 14th time this year, has a 3-4 record. Earned run average is 6 1/4. And again, he has worked both as a starter and a reliever this year. Bonas not overpowering with his stuff, but he's made good pitches over the last few weeks, and he's been effective.
Well, the Royals still a part of the proceedings, but they've spotted the Cardinals 3 runs. Well, there's an interesting thought. Will these teams be playing every year on a regular basis? Who knows at this point?
The pitcher, Mike Interleague.
We've seen more formulas and presentations and ideas for the realignment. But in just about every grouping that you see, the Royals and Cardinals seem to be together. Well, Ricky Bonas on in relief of Jim Pitsley. Cardinals still have 2 on. Runners at first and second with 2 out here in the third. They have a run home. They lead 3-0. Just 1 hit in the inning. That was the ground ball base hit by Langford. DeFelice, the catcher, takes the strike from Bonus on a breaking pitch. Ricky Bonus, the veteran, in here to try to close things down in the Cardinal third. DeFelice with a double to left center field, his first time up. Now 1-1 to the Cardinal catcher. The runners, you see at first base, Ron Gant. Gary Gaetti leading away down at second. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mike DeFelice. It's 2-1.
Even after that double that DeFelice hit his last time up, the Royals still play him shallow in center field, shallow in right field, but Damon, the center fielder, was shaded towards right center before that last at bat, playing him more straight up now. In fact, a couple steps towards the left of center field, trying to adjust to the Cardinal catcher.
There's a little flare to the right side. It'll reach the seats. Strike 2. 2-2 now to DeFelice. Well, if Ricky Bonus can get this out, Royals will be down by 3 runs. But facing a young pitcher just up from Louisville, it may take a lot of runs before this game's over. Who knows at this point? Jim Pitsley, the Royals starter tonight, did not get out of the third inning. Jim with control problems. And now Ricky Bonus on in relief. Here's the 2-2 offering. Fly ball, right field. Jermaine Dye gathers it in. The inning is over. Cardinals tack on another run. They now have 4 hits in the game. Royals come to bat bottom of the third, down by 3 runs.
Going to get something on the scoreboard here as we move on to the bottom of the third inning. Kansas City will send up their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. And fans, make sure you turn to the Sports Daily and the Kansas City Star every morning. Here's a preview of the headlines in tomorrow morning's paper. Coverage of the Royals-Cardinals game here tonight. Also, more coverage of sports. The Chiefs, Jerome Woods and John Browning. And Peyton Manning, University of Tennessee, a feature on him. Peyton Manning, one of the outstanding college prospects in the game today. Tomorrow morning in the Kansas City Star, more guts, more glory.
Peyton Manning's Tennessee Volunteers will play Texas Tech out of the Big 12. Here's Jamil Benitez leading off the Royal third. And a pitch is low from the right-hander for the Cardinals, Sean Lowe. There's a strike to Benitez. Jamil's been a busy guy since his call up from Omaha. And through the middle, there's the Royals' first hit of the ball game. Benitez rolls a single to center field.
Well, the Royals struggled for base hits in the early innings in the series against the Orioles. Mike Mussina had shut them down through 4 innings, had no hit them. It was the same story with Scott Erickson the night before. Royals were able to come back and score runs in both of those games. Let's hope they can do it here tonight against a rookie right-hander.
Redbirds leading 3-0. Cardinals have 4 hits. The Royals just now collecting their first base hit of the night. Now here's the catcher, Mike Sweeney, hitting 9th in the order. And a pitch outside, ball 1. The way the Royals have been swinging the home run bat of late, get a couple of guys on, they can be right back in this thing. They're down just 3-0. Sean Lowe working from the stretch. And a little looper, foul of first, and an easy play for McGwire for the out. 1 gone, Royal third. Sweeney didn't get much of a swing that time. So now to the top of the order, and the guys now get their second look at Sean Lowe.
Sean Lowe in his 6th professional season, Bob. We talked about him being a former #1 pick. You had figured by this point of his career, at 26 years old, he's at least been invited to the big league spring training camp.
Well, he's getting a chance here tonight. Now he pitches to Damon, and there's a strike to Johnny. One strike to the Royals center fielder. Ooh, close at first, but getting back Benitez. It appeared to be close. I'm not sure McGwire really slapped the tag on him.
Couple strong guys over there at first base.
Oh, yeah.
Jamil Benitez has got the outstanding power. Of course, McGwire's has already been documented.
Yeah, I'd say. One strike to Johnny. Jamil's got a pretty good lead. And a ground ball is through. Right field, base hit. Benitez going to try for third. Plantier's throw cut off. First and third, one out. Good base running by Benitez. And Johnny Damon has the Royals' second hit of the ball game.
Damon picks on a breaking ball that stayed on the outer half of the plate. Got it through the infield on the right side. Cardinals are playing up in double play depth. That's a little bit closer to the bag at second. Leaves a little bit bigger hole on the right side of the infield. And it looks like the Royals want to challenge the arm tonight of the right fielder, Phil Plantier. Benitez going first to third.
Well, the Royals have two base runners, only one out. Good speed at first with Johnny Damon. Remember the two stolen bases in the ninth inning the other night at Baltimore. Jed Hansen standing in. And a strike. Hansen, who played much of the year at Omaha, facing Lowe, who has played the season in Louisville. One strike to the Royals second baseman. Hansen's driven in 13 runs since the call-up. And nothing doing on the bases.
Jed Hansen had some problems with the strikeouts over the last series, Bob. He had 3 strikeouts in yesterday's ball game, 2 strikeouts the previous day. Orioles pitched him pretty well.
One strike to Jed. Off the end of the bat, foul. Or is it off the bat? The run comes in, and the run scores. It's not a foul ball. The Royals got a break there. Felice didn't make the play. Ball got away, and Benitez, with alert base running, comes in to score.
Probably going to go as a pass ball. It looked like it just went off the end of the catcher's glove as we get another look at it from this angle. Clearly no contact, but just off the end of the glove, it went to the wall. Royals get a run.
Well, now it's a 3-1 game, and Hansen did get a chunk of that one, a foul ball. Well, since Jed Hansen has been plugged in at second base, when Offerman went on the disabled list, he has really produced. Supplied surprising offense. He's hit better here with the Major League club than he did during the year in Omaha. And that one's off the end of the bat. Hansen up there battling. There's a man at second with one out, one run home. 3-1 Cardinals. The Royals batting here in the home half of the third.
It's an important runner out there at second base, Bob, because this pitcher can still feel pretty relaxed with a 2-run lead. Damon runs very well on at second base. The Royals can get him around there within a run of Lowe, and you can keep the heat on him. No chance for that youngster to settle in.
Hansen down in the count 0-2, but spoiling some deliveries from Sean Lowe. Now, maybe the Royals can run up Lowe's pitch count a little bit. Hansen has one Major League home run. Ground ball. It's fair. Gaetti gloves it, throws. Out. Good play by McGwire. And Damon moves into third with 2 out.
Good play all the way around. Gaetti made this play with the glove as he's fallen across the baseline. Seems like he looked back at the umpire. Let's see if he did look back to get the call from the umpire. No, scrambled to his feet. He doesn't have a strong arm now as he used to, but he still has a quick release. Got the throw in time. Nice pick by McGwire. It'll look pretty good from this angle, too.
There's a big out for the Cardinals here. Very close at first. Now the batter is Jay Bell, the runner at third and 2 out. And a ball fouled out of play. There have been close plays at first before. Matchups between these teams, right?
I don't remember that,
don't you?
So much.
Yeah, it's maybe been about a dozen years ago.
I think that's remembered more on the other side of the state. Yeah, I think so.
Mark McGwire, big first baseman. Here's Bell, tapping this one foul, strike 2.
You know, the Cardinal fans all point to that play, but they still win that series if catcher does not get crossed up by the pitcher. They handle a foul pop-up, or maybe play well in Game 7.
You mean the 7-game series didn't turn on one play?
I don't think so. It took a little bit of a turn, but that didn't close the deal.
2 strikes to Bell. Now ball and 2 strikes. We'd like to see Jay get on there and give Chili Davis another shot at this kid. Jay Bell has 20 home runs. He's driven in 76. He walked in the first. Chili Davis lurking on deck. And a broken bat roller. Who's going to cover first? The pitcher. And out. And the inning is over. Well, the Royals get a run. They're back within 2. We've completed 3 here at Kauffman Stadium. And the visiting Cardinals have a 3-1 lead as you get another look at the ground out. Breaking the bat of Jay Bell. We'll be back with the 4th next. For the Royals, he came on in the last inning in relief of the starter, Jim Pitsley. Well, the Royals scratched. They got on the scoreboard in the 3rd. It's now a 3-1 ball game. Cardinals as they come to bat in the 4th. Bob Davis with Paul Splittor. Some wackiness already in this ball game.
Well, it looks to be a fun weekend here in Kansas City. Great crowds expected for all 3 ball games. Royals not off to a very good start here tonight. Jim Pitsley didn't throw a lot of strikes. He was the starter in tonight's game, but Royals still a part of tonight's game. Ricky Bonas on the mound right now, but see how the middle 3 innings work out.
And to tell us about it, here's Paul.
Good weekend for baseball scheduled here in Kansas City this weekend. A lot of visitors in from outside the Kansas City area. Hey, in the Royals' heyday on the weekend series, especially in the summer months, a good portion of the crowd came from outside Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
Looks like that's where we are right now. Phil Plantier will lead things off for St. Louis. Plantier, the number 9 hitter in the order. Of course, the designated hitter is used in this series in the American League Park. Plantier's always been kind of a free swinger. Lost the fly ball to center field. Johnny Damon to the alley in right center. He's there to make the grab for the first out. Plantier now is 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, Ricky Bonas can restore some order here. He got an out to end things in the 3rd. He gets the first batter up here in the 4th. Royals down by just a couple of runs with a long way to go in this one.
Bonas making his 14th appearance of the year. 8 of those appearances have come as a starting pitcher. Here's Delino DeShields. Solid player. Doing a great job for St. Louis this year. Came in with a 283 average. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Shields already has 38 multiple hit games this year.
Well, how many outstanding players are there around Major League Baseball who's played at one time or in many cases started their careers with the Montreal Expos?
Must be quite a minor league system that they have for their club with the players that they have playing still with their big league team. And as you mentioned, so many others playing around for other teams. Bonas is 1-2 pitch. Sweeney wanted the call, didn't get it. It's 2-2. Pop-up center field. Johnny Damon was playing shallow, but has plenty of room. And DeShields is the second out of the inning.
You know, we've talked about it the last couple of 3 weeks. Johnny Damon is just, he doesn't have Tom Goodwin's speed, obviously, who does, but he is really solid out there in center field. He reads the ball well, runs to the spot, He's just done a more than adequate job in center field. I think he's getting better all the time.
Yeah, he looks like he could play center field now defensively. Hoffman Stadium. It's beautiful here tonight.
Oh, it's just terrific.
Here's Royce Clayton. Clayton tonight is no hits and 2 trips. Well, Tony Muser's been pretty disappointed with the outfield play of the Royals over the last few weeks. In fact, they've been out to the ballpark on numerous occasions before the start of even the extra batting practice, working on the outfield play, tracking of fly balls, handling the balls in the alley, the relays. It's an area that he really wants to see the team improve on. Not by the end of this season, certainly at the start of spring training next year.
Well, from the first day he came on board, he told everybody that it starts defensively, and then pitching, starters, and the bullpen. There's Damon out in center field. This is coming from a guy who was a hitting coach most recently with the Cubs. There's Jermaine Dye, the right fielder, and Benitez in left.
0-2 is hit on the ground right side. Jeff King with the underhand toss, and the Cardinals go 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Tony Muser sees the first 1, 2, 3 innings. This club will come to the plate in the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Davis, Palmer, and King.
This is a Fox Sports Rocky Mountain presentation.
Cardinals lead 3-1. Royals bat in the 4th. Let's quickly check in with our Southwestern Bell trivia question for tonight. You know it would have to be a question related to the '85 World Series. How many runs did the Cardinals score in games 3 through 7 in the I-70 World Series, in which Willie McGee participated? Roll that over for a half inning. Probably check your record book, right?
Chili Davis leading things off. Chili with 21 RBIs in his last 17 games. 80 on the season for Chili. He was 2 for 10 in the Baltimore series. Both base hits were home runs. You see his average right now squarely on that 300 mark. He hit the ball hard his first time up. It was out on a line drive to the right fielder Plantier. Chili will be followed in the order by Dean Palmer and Jeff King. Sean Lowe making his major league debut here tonight. Just up from AAA. Pulled the string and got Chili swinging over the top of it. Nice pitch. 2-1.
Royals are playing their 4th series in the Interleague competition. Remember the trip to Pittsburgh? A great reception for Bell and King. Royals won 2 out of 3 here against Houston. Then, of course, disaster struck at Wrigley Field. They lost all 3. A couple of those games appeared to be pretty good shape, and they got away.
That was about the time disaster struck the Royals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the 12-game losing streak that started in late June into the middle part of July.
2 bad trips to Chicago, once to the south side and then the north side. Tony Muser was on the other side up north.
Ball 4 to Chili. Royals get their leadoff man on for the 2nd inning in a row.
Right after these 3 games, the Royals will complete interleague play as they go to Cincinnati to play the Reds. And you know the manager who'll be in the Reds dugout.
Trader Jack's got the boys playing pretty well in Cincinnati.
We'll have all 3 of those Cincinnati games on television Monday and Tuesday. And remember, it's a noon start on Monday on Labor Day on Royals Television Network, including WB29, then Tuesday night, and then next Wednesday we'll be back here on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain. Hope you'll join us for all 3 of those ball games. Tony's not thinking about the Reds right now.
Tony's thinking about getting back into this one and maybe winning another series. The Royals won the series in Baltimore. Had problems winning series the second half of the season. Now 2 balls and no strikes to Dean Palmer. Dean hit a 1-hopper back to the mound his first time in. Palmer's now just 5 for his last 35 at-bats. His average is down to the 255 mark. Cardinals play him straight up and pretty deep in their outfield. It's now 2 balls and a strike.
Boy, that's the way it goes sometimes when you're in a slump. You get ahead in the count 2-0. You got to pitch in there and take a big rip and foul it almost straight back. Boy, a long one here and the game could be tied.
Been a lot of anticipation for this 3-game series. 2-2 now to Palmer. Well, the folks that came in from out of town or from over in St. Louis, they're going to have a good time in our town this weekend. A lot of things going on. Good to see the blue at the yard tonight. Chiefs fans.
Well, I saw that.
Down on strikes goes Palmer. Lowe able to come back from the 2-0 count to get the strikeout. That's the first out in the inning.
And the second strikeout of the ball game for Lowe, the right-hander. Palmer got to hit the count 2-0, then goes down swinging. This guy's done a pretty good job after getting the call to come up from Louisville. Tony Muser needing a big hit here. And a guy who has been slumping but showed some signs yesterday of breaking out of it, Jeff King, stands in.
Jeff walked his first time in this evening. Home run came on a straight changeup for Mike Mussina yesterday. Mussina made the pitch down in the strike zone, but King was able to get it elevated, got it out to left field at Camden Yards. And there's a drive. It's high, it's deep. If it's fair, it could be out of here. It is gone. Jeff King homers for the second consecutive day, and we got a brand new ball game. We're tied at 3.
Well, what a good sign that is. Lowe's not very happy about it. Jeff King has hit his 12th career home run against the Cardinals, and we have got a brand new ball game here in Kansas City. What a blast by King. The only question was, would it stay fair, and it did by enough. Here's our Nissan home run rerun. This home run rerun sponsored by Nissan. And if you're a Royals fan, you'll enjoy the ride. Well, maybe Jeff King can close out this season with some hot hitting. He's shown it the last couple of ball games. A 3-all tie now here in the 4th.
Whoa, how about that? All right, the youngster. To know that he's out there and don't get too comfortable. So Jeff King, his 19th of the year, home runs in each of the last 2 days, and there's a chopper through the middle. Clayton charges from his shortstop position to draw Jermaine Dye.
Well, Jeff King thinking about the home run, the one he hit yesterday perhaps, contemplating his stroke right now, talking to Jed Hansen. Well, what a big weapon that home run can be.
That gets Jim Pitsley off the hook tonight. Still over on the Royals bench. Here's Jamil Benitez. Again, Clayton, the shortstop, throws across. Sean Lowe able to recover after giving up the 2-run home run to Jeff King. But King gets the Royals on the board here on the bottom of the 4th. We're tied at 3.
Game, the Cardinals come to bat in the 5th. Let's get an answer to our Southwestern Bell trivia question. Last half inning, we asked you a question with regard to the 1985 World Series. Frank White, one of the participants in that great classic. How many runs did the Cardinals score in games 3 through 7 of the 85 Fall Classic? Did you look it up? Did you know? Well, there you see the totals. 1, 3, 1, 1, and none. That's 6, right?
Kind of hard to win when you score a run a day. That was about the time the young Royals pitching took over in that classic. Well, a lot of business to go here this weekend. So game 1 of the 3-game series. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The heart of the Cardinal order is due up against Ricky Bonas. Mark McGwire 0 for 1 officially. Walked and scored his last time up. I mentioned earlier, Bob, that Tony La Russa has adjusted their lineup and got Ray Lankford hitting by McGwire, and no, check this one out. It is way back, way up on the hill, about halfway up, and Mark McGwire answers for the Cardinals. His 9th in a Redbird uniform.
Boy, did he die a long distance on that one. And the Cardinals are back in front. That is the 26th career home run for McGwire against the Royals. This may be wild before it's over.
Now visitors.
Now 4-3 Cardinals. Take another look. Did he get all of it or what?
That's in his wheelhouse. He is very good at getting the ball airborne. He knew he had this one out of here.
Boy, planted up on the hill. Took a while for it to come down. And it just kind of lodged up there.
Well, the Cardinals were hoping for some punch out of his bat. They have gotten that. That ball's embedded. Ray Langford stands in for St. Louis. He hits the ball sharply, but Jeff King slides over, makes the play unassisted. That's one out. Langford now 1 for 2 tonight with the walk.
The designated hitter, Willie McGee.
Want to remind you to see the Royals take on Jason Giambi and the A's starting on a half-price night, Thursday, September 4th. Saturday the 6th, the next Kansas City Star and Shoney's Family Day here at the K. You get 4 tickets and concessions for just $29. Families also get a free Safe at Home kit, compliments of Children's Mercy. Call 1-800-6-ROYALS for your tickets. Now, Mark McGwire won't be back when the A's come, right?
Unless they think of something between now and then. The A's have had a lot of transition this year. Willie McGee, the DH, after the 1-0 pitch to Bell at short. He made it close at first base, but he's the second out of the inning. Thrown out 6-3.
The third baseman.
Pretty tough hop for Jay Bell, but he read it nicely and had enough on the throw to get the put out. Willie can still get down that line.
You talk about him being 38 years old. He looks like he can play a few more years. Still got the wheels. So Ricky Bonas will now face Gary Gaetti. He was 1 for 1 officially. Hit by a pitch his last time up. Gary will tell you he hated leaving Kansas City. He really enjoyed playing here, but understood the finances of the game. Still stayed in the area. Midwest guy, went to Northwest Missouri State University.
He was part of the Cardinal surge last year with 23 homers and 80 driven in. The Cardinals were just a game away from the World Series.
That was an exciting postseason series, too.
It really was.
A lot of pressure. Gaetti in the middle of it. 3 balls and no strikes here, and he's the type of hitter that will get the green light on 3-0.
Cardinals into play this weekend, 9 games off the pace in the National League Central. Houston Astros may be the surprise leader in that division. Many picked the Cardinals in the preseason.
Cardinals have played at 7 under 500 since the All-Star break. Now 3 balls and a strike, and Bonas needs to make another pitch right here. Bonas came on with a couple runners on base and 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Got the Cardinals in order in the 4th. Deals the 2-out walk to Gaetti right here.
Now for the third time in the game, Gaetti becomes a base runner.
Left fielder, Ron Gant.
Ricky Bonas now the pitcher of record for the Royals. He came out this inning with a tie score, but giving up the mammoth home run to McGwire. Cardinals back in front by 1. Tony Muser has seen a lot of the Cardinals in recent years.
Ron Gant is 0 for 1 tonight. He's walked and scored a run. All but 2 of the Cardinal hitters have been on base at least once here tonight. Only the number 9 hitter Plantier and the number 2 hitter Clayton have not reached so far this evening. Gant takes the slider on the outside corner. He evened the count at a ball and a strike. Gant has hit in 12 of his last 18 ball games for St. Louis. Average still hovering down in the upper 220s. Another breaking ball. Strike 2. Gant's played in his entire career over in the National League. St. Louis, Cincinnati, Atlanta. Surprisingly, he's had problems against left-handed pitching over the last few seasons. Figure the right-handed hitter would get a better look at those guys than he would the righties, but that hasn't been the case. Runs him off the plate to even the count at 2-2. Gant hitting here with Gaetti on at first base. 2 outs. We're in the Top of the 5th inning. St. Louis 4 runs on 5 hits. The Royals 3 runs on 3 hits. And the count goes full. Saw a lot of 3-ball counts in the first 2+ innings. Holmes has come in and done a good job of throwing strikes so far. Tim Pitsley, tonight's starter, went just 2 2/3 innings. Gaetti running on the pitch. Palmer charging from third, picks it off on one hop, throws across to get Gant and the Cardinals here on the top of the 5th inning. But Mark McGwire has done some damage. His leadoff home run at the top of the 5th inning, his 9th of the season in a Cardinal uniform, gives St. Louis the 4-3 lead. Halfway through from Kansas City, the Cardinals have that 4-3 lead.
You don't think this has been decided yet, do you?
I hope not. Hope the 4 runs won't stand up. Mike Sweeney will see if he can do something about it right here as he leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Royals. John Lowe has gone all the way tonight in his Major League debut. He's called up from AAA Louisville. Mike 0 for 1 tonight. He fouled out to McGwire at first base back in the 3rd inning. Sweeney has gotten most of the starts recently behind the plate. Taking over the #1 catching job since the All-Star break. Most of the first half of the season. Swing, no contact from Sweeney. It's 2 balls and a strike. Mike will be followed in the inning by Johnny Damon and Jed Hansen. Royals played well in the Houston series here at Kauffman Stadium. Also played well at Pittsburgh. Off of Gaetti's glove into short left field. Sweeney makes the big turn at first base, but he'll hold on. Clayton, the shortstop, scrambled after the ball. Gaetti had made a great play earlier. Couldn't quite come up with this one. This ball was really smoked off the bat of Sweeney. Well, Mike has a hit. Now the Royals have their 4th hit of the ball game. Take another look. He turned on this one pretty well, and Gaetti slowed it down a little bit, but unable to make the play, and the Royals have a leadoff single here in the 5th. Gaetti with the good effort at third base, but unable to flag down that ground ball. Here's Johnny Damon. Johnny's 1 for 2 tonight. The Royals have their leadoff man on for the 3rd straight inning. Able to move him around and score him the first 2 times that the leadoff man reached tonight. Sweeney has the Royals' 4th hit of the game. Straight back. It's a ball and a strike. Well, it's Fan Appreciation Night. Saturday, September 20th. The Royals want to say thank you. All fans will have a chance to win the following. How about a 1998 Nissan Altima? A year's supply of Guys snacks, free AMC movies for a year, autographed memorabilia, and much more. Fan Appreciation Night, September 20th, 7:05 that night. Call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Nobody out, 1 on. Johnny Damon stands in for the Royals. Bottom of the 5th inning. There's a shot fair inside the bag at third. Headed for extra bases. Gant into the corner to dig it out. They'll hold Sweeney up at third base. So Johnny Damon with the double, and the Royals are back in business here in the bottom of the 5th. Well, the Royals are now going through the batting order for the 2nd and now the 3rd time against this young guy up from Louisville, and they are starting to hit the ball pretty hard. They didn't get any hits the first couple of innings. Sweeney led off, hitting the ball sharply. Now Damon going the opposite way, and it's just fair inside the bag at third. And now the Royals have the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at 2nd. Nobody out. Look at Sweeney chug into third base. I got the stop sign over there. They try to throw behind Sweeney, and ball kicked away at third base. Mike able to get back in time. So the Royals now with runners on 2nd and 3rd, still nobody out. And you got the heart of the order due up. Jed Hansen stands in. Hansen was robbed by a Gaetti his last time up. He's 0 for 2 tonight. We're starting to get some activity out there in that Cardinal bullpen for the first time tonight. Pitch is too low from Sean Lowe. Lowe making his first start and appearance for the big league team. Ted Hansen has done well in the RBI department so far since he was called up from Omaha a couple weeks ago. He's knocked in 13 runs already. Cardinals will back all the way around in their infield, straight up in their outfield. That's Clayton, the shortstop. Looks Sweeney back at third and throws across in time. He may have had a play on Sweeney at third base. A little bit undecided over there. Was about a third of the way down the line.
Well, the Cardinals get it out. Very steady shortstop is Royce Clayton. Ball hit sharply, but right at the shortstop. Lands at third. Good strong run to first base. Check Sweeney out at third base. Mike wanted to score that tying run, didn't he? Well, let's see if Jay Bell can give him the chance to do that. Sweeney's still on at third base. Damon on at second. Bell's been in an RBI slump lately, Bob. He has just 4 RBIs over the last 3.5 weeks. Got a chance to change that right here. A couple runners on in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch. Hit back through the middle. That'll get a run home. Clayton knocks it down. He has no play. And we're tied at 4. Well, Clayton makes a good play. That does save a second run, at least for the time being. But Jay Bell put it in play, and the Royals fans are fired up right now as the game is once again tied. And Jay Bell knocking in his 77th run of the year. If this one gets through into center field, the Royals go in front. But Sweeney checks in with the tying run. And now the go-ahead run is at third in the person of Johnny Damon. Look at the good play, though, by Clayton to keep it on the infield. Now time has been called. Dave Duncan on his way to the mound, and I believe he has signaled to the bullpen already. Jay on at first base with the RBI in the inning. And that's going to do it for Lowe. John Frascatore, who has been warming up out of the bullpen, will be summoned by pitching coach Dave Duncan. So Sean Lowe up from Louisville has completed his work for the night, and the pitching change being made. Royals have pulled even. Royals now have 6 hits in the ball game to the 5 of the Cardinals, and the game is tied at 4 runs apiece. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return here to Kansas City. Called up from Louisville, Sean Lowe now in the dugout. The game is tied. Royals have a chance to go in front for the first time tonight. They had tied it at 3, then the home run by McGwire put the Cardinals back in front, and now the reliever has come on. John Frascatore, 27-year-old right-hander's in the game. He's 5-2 on the year, with an outstanding ERA, and he's making his 47th appearance of the year. Interesting to note, the veteran pitching coach split. Dave Duncan went to the mound, and Dave Duncan, one of the very few pitching coaches in Major League Baseball, when he goes out there, he might make a pitching change. Usually the pitching coach goes out, it's just for a conversation.
Well, Dave Duncan has long been the pitching coach for Tony La Russa. Been a big part of their success. They turned a lot of people around in the Oakland organization. Had a great year in St. Louis last year.
And it's also interesting to note Dave Duncan, one of the few highly successful pitching coaches who was himself not a hurler. But he's done a great job with lots of guys.
Frascatore has a pretty good arm. Our throwing right-hander, now 27 years old, came through the Cardinal system. First full year in the big leagues, works with a fastball, a slider, and a straight changeup. He can move the fastball around, has the good velocity. Chili Davis will be the first Royal to face him. Royals have runners on first and third, still just 1 out. Kind of figured the bullpens would play an important role in tonight's game with a rookie making his first start for the Cardinals. Jim Pitsley, the number 5 starter for the Royals, opened the ball game for Kansas City.
When a fly ball here, it could give the Royals the lead for the first time. You got speed at third and only 1 out.
And the outfield plays very deep for Chili Davis. Pescatore's first pitch to him is the fastball. Chili a bit behind it. It's 0-1. Runners on for the Royals. Good speed at third base in Damon. Jay Bell runs well at first. Chili Davis with home runs in 4 of his last 5 games for Kansas City.
And now a little conversation. Boy, this place would explode if Chili'd connect here. Pescatore on the mound. We talked about Lowe having toiled this year in Louisville. This right-hander was in Louisville a year ago, and he was just 6-13 at the AAA level with an ERA of 5.18. But boy, he's put up pretty glossy numbers. The major league scene this year with a low ERA of 2.39, working in 46 games.
He looks to have found a home in that Cardinal bullpen. His 0-1 pitch. And again, he had the fastball by Chili. It's 0-2. Playoff atmosphere here at Kauffman Stadium tonight. Hasn't been this way in a long time. It's nice to see it.
Maybe they should hang that bunting out more often. See it? That gives you the playoff atmosphere right there.
Well, this is a big series all across the state. Certainly this 4-state area. High ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes now. Chili leads the Royals in RBIs, but he's got plenty of company right now. Bell with 76, Palmer with 72, King with now 79 RBIs. The Royals have a half a dozen hits in the ball game. 2 of those have gone for extra bases. And just foul.
Well, you would think on the surface, and you're from Seattle and you dropped in tonight and you looked at the records of the 2 teams, you might yawn a little bit, but you had the feeling something's on the line here. Tie game. The A's jumped out 3-0. Then the Royals tied it at 3-all. Now we're tied at 4 apiece. Royals trying for their first lead of the ball game.
And it's 2-2. Hey, you look around at the scoreboard, and this is easily the most intriguing series as far as the matchup. None of the teams out there really battling in contention.
Look at those matchups. You have to do a double take when you check some of the ball games during interleague play, don't you? But Atlanta leading at Fenway Park, 9-0. Cubs Cleveland having a battle.
And the count goes full. So Chili, who was down in the count 2 strikes, runs it out full. See if the Royals send a base runner right here. Runners on first and third, still just 1 out in the inning.
Well, you're really watching a veteran hitter at work here. Chili got down in the count early. He'd like to get Johnny Damon home with this go-ahead run.
And the 3-2. Inside, ball 4. And that will load them up for Dean Palmer. Royals have scored 1 run in the inning already to knot up the score at 4-all. The RBI went to Jay Bell. Pescatore on in relief of Sean Lowe.
You mentioned Palmer's been in a little tailspin, but since joining the Royals with runners in scoring position, he's done very well, hitting at .344. Johnny Damon represents the go-ahead run. Jay Bell at second. And Chili's at first with 1 out.
Infield back all the way around for St. Louis, and Palmer swings through the first fastball. It's 0-1. Dean tonight 0 for 2. A ground ball and a strikeout. And there's the Cardinal defense. St. Louis would love to get the ground ball. The Royals need at least a fly ball. The 0-1, and it gets away at the plate. Damon got a late break from third, but the wild throw at the plate, he still scores. It's 5-4 Kansas City.
Oh, what a break that is. Johnny with a little bit of indecision, but by the time DeFelice got the ball, he made a bad throw to the pitcher covering, and for the first time tonight, the Royals are in front. Here's another look at it.
Bobby gets the late break because of the angle the ball's going. It's rolling away from the catcher. But Damon never really gets a good look because he's at third base looking down that line. Couldn't tell how far it had rolled away from DeFelice.
Well, that was a desperation throw by the catcher, throwing it while falling down.
He couldn't have known Damon got the late break. Look, he never looked back.
Right.
Just tracking the ball. Johnny would have been out by about 3 strides if that throw's on the money. At any rate, the Royals have the 5-4 lead. Palmer fouls one off down the right field line.
Well, now they really need a base hit from Palmer to get 2 more runs. Johnny Damon's footwork has been big this week. He got the winning run the other night in Baltimore as a pinch runner, stealing 2 bases, then scoring on an infield groundout. Johnny reconstructing the play.
Now the 1-2. Breaking ball just missed. That's the slider from Frascatore. Frascatore on a relief of Lowe.
Well, this is really big. It takes the double play out of order, too.
2-2 has popped up. Short center field. Out goes to Shields. Nice catch. Here comes the runner. The throw to the plate, not in time. Bell scores.
Well, this is great base running by Jay Bell. Had the center fielder made the catch, they might have had a play. But the Royals get another run, and they're up 6-4. DeShields goes out into shallow center. Take another look.
How about a sacrifice fly to the second baseman?
You don't see that very often. Langford, the center fielder, of course, playing very deep. And DeShields with his momentum going to the outfield, and Jay Bell scores standing up. The Royals lead by 2.
Well, if DeShields doesn't get there, that ball's going to drop because the center fielder Langford isn't going to get there. Bell scores easily. And now here's Jeff King, who already has a 2-run home run here tonight.
Look at Jay Bell kind of grinning at your old basic sacrifice fly to the second baseman. Sitting next to Jay Bell is Glendon Rush.
King takes the slider off the outside corner to even the count at 1-1.
I'm sure they're frustrated in the Cardinal dugout. The wild pitch and then a little pop fly to center, and the Royals scored a run on each one.
Yeah, they got to feel that these are a couple soft runs in this inning. It's a good fastball across at the knees.
Johnny Damon's speed was a factor. He scored the go-ahead run. And then Jay Bell checking in after the pop fly to shallow center.
Again, the fastball, and King down on strikes. But the Royals do some damage. They score 3 runs on 3 base hits. RBIs in the inning go to Bell and Palmer.
Discover Card is a proud contributor to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and tonight will make a donation on behalf of Fox Sports Rocky Mountain and the Kansas City Royals. For the first time tonight, the Royals have the lead. Upon Jumbotron, Slugger, and Fredbird have been performing.
Bob, get down from there.
What would it take to get you up there?
A lot. You don't have it. Well, let's see if the Royals can hold on right here as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Mike DeFelice, their catcher, will lead off against Ricky Bonas. Bonas would stand to be the pitcher of record right now. on a relief of Jim Pitsley. Bonus has been in since the third inning. DeFelice tonight is 1 for 2. He doubled his first time up. That was back in the second inning. The Cardinals scored a couple times in that frame. He drove home both of the runs. Cardinal fans trying to make some noise and get things going for their club. They're here in numbers tonight as Jermaine Dye drifts to his right to make the grab on that one. DeFelice the first out in the top of the sixth.
Now Ricky Bonas went to the mound in the fifth inning in a tie score, gave up the home run to McGwire, then got out of the inning. Now Ricky working with a 2-run lead.
Comfortable night at Kauffman Stadium. Temperature in the 80s throughout this day. Great night for baseball. Bill Plantier takes the breaking ball. Too low, ball one. Plantier tonight 0 for 2. A couple of pop-ups. Plantier's stance reminds you a little bit of a former Cardinal, Stan Musial.
The man.
Musial taller and certainly leaner, but kind of a little peekaboo stance. This ball's hammered to right field. Jermaine Dye on the run. He's not going to get there. It is gone. Plantier drives one out of here, and the Cardinals now trail it by 1.
And that is Plantier's third career home run against Kansas City. How many runs is it going to take to win this ball game tonight? It's now a 6-5 game. The Royals on top. Looked like Stan Musial hit that one.
He uncoils out of that deep crouch. Boy, did he get through that ball?
Reaction from Bonas tells the story, doesn't it?
He hit it off the facing of the water display in right field.
Well, Ricky's given up a couple of home runs, and they were of the mammoth variety to McGwire, and now long shot off the bat of Plantier.
Home runs number 7 and 8 given up by Bonas this year. So Bill Plantier has made it a 1-run ball game. Delino DeShields now hits for St. Louis. DeShields 1 for 3 tonight. DeShields already with career highs in home runs and triples. Big swing there, no contact. He won a ball game for St. Louis a couple weeks ago with an extra inning home run.
Bonas with pretty good velocity on that pitch, getting it by DeShields.
2-2 pitch sends the count full. Now the payoff pitch. Looped into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Jamal Benitez over to pick it up. Hustles it back into the infield. So the 1-out single by DeShields, and the Cardinals keep it working here in the top of the sixth.
Well, the Redbirds now have 7 hits in the ball game. They lead in the hit department. And they're down by just 1 run as they are on the horn to the Royal bullpen. Second hit of the ball game for Delino DeShields. He started the game with a line drive single to left, and he goes the other way with this one, and it's hit sharply as well. Not quite as hard as that first hit, which was a line drive, but he's the tying run with just 1 out. And here's Royce Clayton. Clayton has hit us tonight in 3 at-bats. That 0 for 3 has taken just 1 point off his batting average this evening. DeShields at first base has 44 steals. He's been caught 9 times. Royals bullpen is busy. The right-hander is Hector Carrasco. The left-hander, Matt Wisenant. DeShields has his maximum lead right now. Terry Kraft is the first base umpire. Cardinals historically have liked to use their running game.
style would ever change. It's inbred into their organization. They have long scouted and signed and developed players that could run and throw. Teams have always been built around speed, and even though they have a power hitter like a Mark McGwire in the middle of their lineup, I don't think they'd get away from their running style.
McGwire's kind of in that same spot once occupied by Jack Clark, the big bopper among all the speedsters.
Certainly is. There's another shot into left field. Clayton with his first hit of the game. 3 consecutive hits now by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, would you say this is shaping up as an offensive battle right now? The last guy you want to see standing in the batting box, if you're a Royals fan, is this guy, Mark McGwire. McGwire's last time up, he absolutely launched one on the hill in left field. And now he's up there with 2 runners on, and the Cardinals down by a run.
McGwire in his 25th game for St. Louis already has 18 RBIs in a Redbird uniform. Slider misses outside. It's 1-0.
It's not untypical of Mark McGwire, those kinds of numbers.
He got off to a very slow start with St. Louis. Went just 3 for his first 34 at bats. Had a dozen strikeouts in that time, so he got off to a slow start.
Last year, when McGwire hit 52 home runs in 130 games, he was hitting them at every 8.1 at bats.
There go the runners. Throw to third, and gunned down is the lead base runner, Delino DeShields.
Well, what a surprise that was to see him running with McGwire up there. And DeShields thrown out for the 10th time this year. Clayton winds up at second. Boy, it's a big out for the Royals, and a great throw by Sweeney.
Well, you really have to question the strategy right there, Bob.
Well, I'm stunned.
McGwire strong enough to drive in both of those boys from wherever they are on the bases. Great throw from Sweeney, and he's pumped up. Well, that's 2 outs now. Maybe more importantly, first base is open. A good breaking ball from Bonus gets a swinging strike 2 to McGwire. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you said earlier Tony La Russa can sometimes turn the book around a little bit. He really did right there.
Tough to anticipate what he's going to do. Tony Muser's club now a strike away from getting out of this jam. Bonus just missed. You said if you're a Royals fan, McGwire's the last guy you want to see, even if you are a Royals fan. It's kind of an intriguing matchup.
Well, it is. This is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Neat atmosphere here tonight. Plenty more action to come this weekend. And the count goes full.
Now, Ricky really staying away from him. The last 2 deliveries, it'll be interesting to see what he throws here with a full count.
Still have to make your pitch. You don't want to give in. As I mentioned, first base is wide open. He did. It's low ball 4, and McGwire walks for the 2nd time in the game. I mentioned that Tony La Russa had adjusted his lineup to try to get more protection from McGwire. The Atlanta Braves walked him intentionally 4 out of 5 at bats in a game earlier this year.
Well, you can understand why. Tony Muser making his way to the mound. He's signaled for the left-hander. Ricky Bonus has completed his work. Ricky gave up a couple of home runs while he was in there, but at least at the moment the Royals still have the lead. Matt Wisnett will be called in from the bullpen, so the left-hander will be brought in to pitch to Ray Langford, and we'll tell you about Matt when we return in Kansas City. Bonus, who's now in the Royals dugout. Royals still up by a run, but the Cardinals have 2 on with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. And the new pitcher, Matt Wisnett. You see his numbers. Well, what a series he had in Baltimore. A big hold in the game yesterday when he fanned Rafael Palmeiro with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th. And then in our ball game Tuesday night, he picked up his first big league win. He got B.J. Suroff to hit into a double play to end the 8th. And then Montgomery came on to close it out. So Wisnett being brought in here to face the 4th man in the batting order for the Cardinals. Left-handed hitter Ray Langford.
Whisenant, a good fastball pitcher. Maybe the key pitch for him yesterday in that Palmeiro matchup, Bob, was a slider. Got it over on the first pitch, then pulled the string on the slider to get a swinging strike, too. Went on to get the strikeout of Palmeiro in a game situation. So it'll be left-hander against left-hander right here. Ray Langford will be the hitter for St. Louis. Matt Whisenant on in relief of Ricky Bowness. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Whisenant working with runners on first and second. It's a called strike one. Whisenant jumps ahead of Langford. Langford tonight is 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd inning. He walked in the 1st. Cardinal half of the 6th inning. Kansas City leading at 6-5. St. Louis is out hitting the Royals 8-6. The 0-1, and he threw the fastball right on by him.
But let's put Ray Langford in our Chevy spotlight. He's done a lot of things in his career of note. In '92, he became the first Cardinal to hit 20 homers and steal 20 or more bases in the same season since the great Lou Brock did it in '67. He's really a quality player. He was the first batter to come to bat on opening day in '94. I mean, in baseball, and he hit a home run.
Don't need that here. Need the strikeout, and Whisenant gets it. So Whisenant comes in for the 2nd consecutive day to get the strikeout of a left-handed hitter. But the home run from Phil Plantier has made this a 1-run game.
Brought to you in part by Armatron All Sport, an incredible collection. Armatron watches featuring alarm, chronographs, lap times, and more. Armatron, the best priced quality watch in America. Now we head into the bottom of the 6th split. Tony Muser's team still up by a run. Whisenant came in and got the final out of the top of the 6th inning, and Royals scored 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. What do you look for in the 6th?
Lower third of the order due up. You hope you can keep the offense going. Having scored in the last 3 innings. Jermaine Dye hitless so far. He's 0 for 2. He'll be followed by Jamil Benitez and Mike Sweeney. Frascatore is on in relief of Sean Lowe. Lowe worked the first 4 1/3 innings here tonight.
Jermaine Dye, of course, playing a year ago with the Braves, was 4 of 16 against the Cardinals. No home runs, just 1 run batted in.
A ball and 2 strikes here. Jermaine getting regular playing time now in right field. Tony La Russa going out to the bullpen. Probably looking for a pinch hitter, possibly a pinch runner. Usually Dave Duncan handles the pitching chores. Let's see what they're going to do out there. Breaking ball just got a piece of it, but catcher able to hold on and die down on strikes. He's the first out of the inning. 2nd strikeout for Frascatore.
Left fielder, Jamil Benitez.
Well, the look, this pitch is up. Jermaine has a whack at it, not just a tiny bit of it, and he is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Frascatore walked the first batter that he faced here tonight, but he's now retired 3 straight. And here's Jamil Benitez. Jamil 1 for 2 with a run scored. He got the Royals' first hit of the ball game against the starter Sean Lowe. A single up the middle in the 3rd, and came around to score the Royals' first run of the night. Lowe started off strong, not giving up any base hits in the first couple innings. He did walk a couple during that stretch. It's a ball and a strike here to Benitez. Benitez gave some solid home run and RBI numbers to the Omaha Royals this year. Clayton to his left picks it off on a couple hops and throws in plenty of time to first base. So Jamil thrown out 6-3.
The catcher, Mike Sweeney.
So Frascatore will now face the number 9 man, Mike Sweeney. many times the teams that win games like this are the teams that can send out a middle reliever to throw off some zeros in the middle innings. Pescatore has a chance to retire the Royals in order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Right-hander delivers too low now. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Sweeney. Mike is 1 for 2 tonight. And it's 2-1. But we were impressed with the relief pitching in the series against the National League teams that we've had already. Seems like they might have an edge in the middle relief corps. Of course, they're called on to pitch more than the American League pitchers are with the pitch hitting that they do for the pitchers over in the National League. Pescatore's been impressive tonight. 3 balls and a strike now. Mike Sweeney, the number 9 man in the order here tonight. He was 1 for 7 in the Baltimore series. Had a big RBI, came on an infield ground ball that got Damon home from third base, led to a Royal win in Game 2 of the 3-game set. Payoff pitch. We'll have to do it again as it's fouled straight back.
I tell you, Mike's numbers are going to climb, I think, as he continues to play. He's really aggressive up there, and as he learns of the strike zone a little more and a better line on some of the pitchers around the league. Of course, I make a statement like that. If you change leagues next year, you kind of start over with some people, don't you? Mike McFarland has worked awfully well with Sweeney, providing the benefit of his experience. Again, the 3-2. Again popped up, but playable this time. DeFelice, the catcher, gets the final out of the inning, and the Royals do go in order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. It's been an entertaining first 6 innings here tonight. The Royals still lead at 6-5, but plenty of baseball left. The Royals continue to lead this one 6-5 as we move on to the top of the 7th inning. The Cardinals getting a little deeper into that Royals bullpen now, as Hector Carrasco will be the new pitcher. Hey, folks, tickets still remain for the final 2 interleague games here at Kauffman Stadium against the St. Louis Cardinals. General admission seating sale goes on sale 90 minutes before the start of every one of the games. And limited reserve seats tickets are still available for the Sunday afternoon game. Call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets now. Fans in attendance here tonight have not been disappointed. They've been entertained. It has been a seesaw affair. As I mentioned, a lot more baseball left as Royals get back into their bullpen and come out with another new pitcher. It'll be Hector Carrasco on in relief of Wisenet. Carrasco appears for the 21st time this year, has a 1-3 record, a 4.76 earned run average, 19 base hits allowed, and almost 23 innings of work. Strikeouts to walks are a little bit better than 2-1, but Carrasco, hard-throwing right-hander, has had a problem with the strike zone. A lot of baseball left. Here's Bob Davis. All right, Split. Let's see what happens here in the final third of this ball game. McGee takes a shot at the first pitch, hits it up into the air, down the line and left. Benitez gave chase but had no chance. Carrasco, of course, has pitched against the Cardinals in the National League. 2-2 with a save. This is his 14th appearance against the Redbirds. Tell you, prior to the appearance the other night when he gave up that grand slam to Palmeiro, Hector had logged 6 consecutive scoreless relief appearances. That's what the Royals need here tonight. It's 1-1 now to Willie McGee. Willie McGee, Gary Gaetti, Ron Gant due up here in the 7th. Well, the Cardinals will probably know Carrasco better than we do, Bob.
That's right. But what we have seen from Carrasco is that he doesn't get hit very hard unless he gets himself in trouble with a lack of control. That was the story in Baltimore the other day.
One lofted to center field. Johnny Damon ventures into left center to make the put out. Oh, Hector has the first out on the board here in the 7th inning. Tony La Russa, who has a law degree, looking ahead now as Gaetti comes to bat. already in the ball game. An unusual night for him, a triple and hit by a pitch and walked. That's hit sharply on a couple of hops. Bell plays the tough hop and throws him out. Oh, quickly 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Jay Bell with a nice play. And Gaetti's been retired for the first time tonight.
One of the things that Tony Muser has done with this bullpen, and I think it has paid off nicely for him over the last few weeks, Bob, is he's gone right back to people even after they've had a tough ball game. And we've seen it happen before, and he goes back to Carrasco tonight after giving up the grand slam home run, the tough night in Baltimore. And here in a game situation right now, and when I talk about going back to a guy, it doesn't mean just get him into a game. Get him into an important game or at an important time in that game. Situation right now for Carrasco.
Well, Hector's got 2 of them punched out here in the 7th. 1 strike to Gant. Popped him up. Is Hector going to make the play? Who is? The catcher, Sweeney, got it. Well, a little miscommunication there, but they got the out. I thought Hector was going to take care of it. 3 up and 3 down here in the Cardinals' 7th. And the Royals continue to lead by a run. It is 7th inning stretch time here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Ball on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain is brought to you by the Champion Automobile Superstore on the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road in Independence. By Price Chopper and Price Chopper Half Price Nights every Monday and Thursday night at the K. By HQ, home of the fastest checkouts in Kansas City. And by Nissan, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. You said, Paul Spudorf, the bullpens would play a role in this ball game, and they are.
Cardinals going to get a little deeper in their bullpen as we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Royals still holding that 1-run lead. Rigo Beltran, a left-hander, comes on in relief right now. He is a 27-year-old rookie.
And he'll deal with the top of the order for Kansas City. Johnny Damon, Jed Hansen, Jay Bell due up. Johnny Damon tonight has a couple of hits. He is 2 for 3. Beltran's numbers. And the count of ball and 2 strikes on the foul ball off the bat of Damon. Johnny scored a run in the 5th when the Royals crossed home plate 3 times to go in front. They lead by a run as they bat in the home half of the 7th. Cardinals led at one point 3-0. And a bouncer to the second baseman to Shields. High hop, but out at first. Very close. Damon hustling all the way. And yet another close play at first between the Royals and the Cardinals.
The reason this is a close play, look at this hop right there. Get right at the edge of the grass where it meets the skin portion of the infield, and that little bit of a high hop.
Ooh. Take another look here.
The second baseman, Jed.
What do you think?
Who's that umpire at first base?
No, it's Terry Kraft. That was very close, wasn't it?
Yeah, those bang-bang plays, they can go either way.
And do. Now with 1 out, here is Jed Hansen. Well, give Damon credit for hustling on that one. There's a strike to Hansen. Johnny talking to Jermaine Dye about it. 1 strike to Hansen, who's been collared tonight in 3 at-bats. Pretty good swing, fouled straight back. 0-2 to the rookie second baseman. Royals leading by the margin of 1 run. Cardinals have 8 hits. Royals have half a dozen. Ooh. There's ball 1 to Hansen.
They say Beltran has an outstanding straight changeup. It's more of a screwball straight change. So that would make it diving down and away from the right-handed hitters. For him to be effective with that pitch, he's going to have to pitch inside effectively to keep hitters honest, to keep them from diving out over the plate.
And a looper down the line in right is not quite reaching the seats, but counts a ball and 2 strikes on Hansen.
Beltran came through the St. Louis organization. Drafted back in June of '91, a 26th round pick, so he wasn't a high round selection, but pitching here now. Frascatore also came through their minor league system, was not a high round draft choice, taken in that same year, June of 1991.
Count even now, 2-2. That one bouncing up there. Boy, Hansen hadn't been collared very much since coming up. He might be due to lace one. It's his 16th game in the Royal lineup since being summoned from Omaha. Royals had a string of 3 consecutive innings in which they'd scored, broken up last inning when they were denied. It's 3-2. They appeal at first, and the umpire Terry Kraft said no. He checked. Royals would like to get a base runner. Bell and Davis due up there next. Popped up. McGwire into foul territory, and 2 out here in the Royal 7th. Well, Beltran has retired. The first 2 batters he faces here. Oh, with 2 out, nobody on. Jay Bell will bat. Jay is 1 for 2. A hit and a run scored. He scored on a little pop-up to shallow center that was caught by the second baseman DeShields. Jay tagged at third and scored. The 3rd run of the Royal 5th. It was a big run. It gave the Royals a 2-run lead at that time, and right now it's the difference in the game.
In this situation right here with 2 outs and nobody on base, you figure if the Royals are going to score, they're going to need the long ball, but Beltran's done a great job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's given up just 1 home run so far this year and 28 innings of work.
Now he's in danger of putting Bell on with 2 out. Ball 3 to Jay. If Jay gets on, you can test Beltran a little bit with Chili Davis. And there's the strike. The thoughts going through the mind of Tony La Russa right now. Popped up. That should get him out of the inning. Good comeback by the rookie pitcher. And McGwire staggered a little bit, but he made the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning in the home half of the 7th. We head to the 8th. Royals still lead it by a run.
Royals still lead this one 6-5 as we move on to the top of the 8th inning, and the long ball has been featured here tonight, and both teams have gotten on the board via the long ball tonight. The Royals got things started in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jeff King hitting his 19th of the year, a 2-run shot. Then it was Mark McGwire unloading for the 9th time in a Cardinal uniform, a solo blast. And Phil Plantier, the number 9 man in the order for St. Louis. He hit his 3rd of the season in the top of the 6th inning. And we talked about the Royals' home run ball over the last week or so. They have hit their share. See what happens the rest of the way. Still 2 innings to go tonight.
This will be interesting. It'll be the 8th and 9th place hitters then to the top of the order for the Cardinals. Hector Carrasco on, the 4th pitcher employed tonight by Kansas City. And we've got a pinch hitter. And ball 1 is thrown to Tom Lampkin, who is the left-handed portion of their platoon at catcher. So Lampkin brought on here by La Russa in the 8th inning. And there's the strike.
Well, look how far off the plate he stands. He's really going to have to dive to get out to a pitch on the outer half of the plate. Stands well back in the box. And lead foot out of a slightly open stance appears to be on the side of the batter's box.
And Tom Lampkin didn't catch up with that one. It's 1-2. Lampkin had a brief tour of duty in the American League. He has played 4 games here at Kauffman Stadium. 7 games overall against the Royals, hitting .222 in those games. 6 out of 27. Count even here at 2-2 on the left-handed batter. Lampkin hitting at .236 on the year. Popped up, foul, out of play. Hector Carrasco trying to get this thing to the ninth. Cardinals scored a couple of runs in the second, then one run in the third, fifth, and sixth. Royals' big inning was the fifth, and they scored 3 times. Tony La Russa hoping his team can rally. They're down by just a run, out hitting the Royals 8-6. And again, that's planted out of play. The count stays 2-2. Lampkin leading off the 8th inning for St. Louis. Hector Carrasco trying to get this first man retired. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit hard and a base hit into right. Lampkin, the pinch hitter, comes through, and he's the tying run.
The right fielder, Phil Plantier.
Bob, he was getting progressively better swings against Carrasco and his fastball. Getting a good look, getting better swings, timing it a little bit more. Now the solid single to right center field. The Cardinals get a base runner.
Now Carrasco will deal from the stretch. And the batter, Plantier, homered his last time up. He is 1 for 3. Good stop by Sweeney. Ball 1 to the Cardinal right fielder, Phil Plantier.
Couple left-handed hitters here in the bottom part of that Cardinal order now after the pinch hitter. And Greg Olson beginning to get loose in the Royals bullpen. He's been very good against left-handed hitters. Royals desperately trying to find a way to get the ball to Jeff Montgomery for the 9th inning with a lead.
Royals that really use a double play. Cardinals don't have great speed at first. One catcher hitting for the other. 1-0 now to Plantier. Wow. Towering drive to right center field. Back goes Damon. That is way up there. He's got it. And the runner tags at first and safe. That's how high and deep that one was. Lampkin able to tag and move into second.
Most teams like to challenge the arms in the Royals outfield. Plantier got a lot of this ball, but just too high to get it out of here. And he knows that he hit it a little bit too high. Damon takes it at the edge of the warning track. Did everything he could to get this ball back in to cut down the base runner. Close at second, but Lampkin in sliding safely.
Lampkin almost came off the bag. Well, 1 on, 1 out. The tying run is at second. Jay Bell, the Royals shortstop, talking it over with Lampkin out there. To the top of the order, Tony La Russa trying to find a way to get this tying run home. Well, that's great base running by the Cardinals. Ground ball, base hit. That'll tie the game. Third hit of the game for DeShields. He'll get at least 2. He's headed toward third. It'll be a triple. The game is tied. Second triple of the ball game for the Cardinals. And we're even at 6 apiece. Jermaine Dye has the great throwing arm, but by the time he got to it, once this ball was by King, you knew it was trouble.
Boy, DeShields having quite a year as you see Lampkin scoring the tying run. DeShields picking up his 50th RBI of the season. Picks up his 12th triple of the year. And once this ball got into the corner, he's got that kind of speed. He's not going to stop at second base. He's going to force you to throw him out. And with his kind of speed, it's going to be tough.
DeShields standing at third, representing the go-ahead run as Greg Olson has been summoned from the bullpen. And the Royals will use their 6th pitcher of the night. Carrasco's work is completed. And we'll tell you about Greg Olson when we return. We've got a 6-all tie here in the 8th inning at Kauffman Stadium.
Delino DeShields on at third base talking to Renee Latchman, the third base coach of St. Louis. His triple has tied this score. Tripled into the right field corner, drove home Tom Lampkin, and here's another look at it as the ball got by King at first base. Lampkin will score easily. Jermaine Dye hustled into the corner to dig it out. His strong throwing arm got the ball back in good shape, but DeShields with that blazing speed, sliding in at third base, has the triple, his 50th RBI of the season. Now just 90 feet away from giving the Cardinals the lead.
A dozen triples in a season. Well, now it's up to Greg Olson to try to keep this thing tied. And he must deal with a second-place hitter in the order with a runner at third and one out.
The shortstop, Royce Clayton.
Boy, Royce Clayton, who will come to bat now, is really a key guy in this inning. If you can get Clayton and keep the runner at third, then maybe you can think about pitching around McGwire. But right now the problem is Royce Clayton, 1 for 4 in the game. Ball 1. Infield tight all the way around. Clayton, a pretty good contact hitter. Ross going to try to shut down that runner at third base. DeShields has the kind of speed, even with that infield pulled in, he may still go on contact. Figuring the chances are it'll hit one side or the other of an infielder. May still be going. That pitch well thrown by Olson. 1-1. You like a little pop-up on the infield or a strikeout if you're the Royals. Something hit to the outfield would give the Cardinals the lead. There's a strike over the outer edge. Another good breaking ball by Olson.
Olson's strikeout pitch is that curveball, Bob, and Clayton is a strikeout candidate. He struck out better than 90 times already this year, and that's an unusually high number for a guy who's a number 2 hitter, a contact guy, not a power hitter.
Olson's got him set up. 1-2. That pitching effort by Olson. Hector Carrasco looks on the dugout. Now there are 2 out. Oh, a big strikeout there.
Well, the number 2 spot in the batting order for St. Louis has been a black hole all season long, and it remains that here in the top of the 8th inning tonight. Clayton can't believe this pitch was called a strike. Sharp curveball from Olson. Home plate umpire Larry McCoy loved it, and so do the Royals fans.
I mentioned if they could get Clayton, they can work around McGwire, and they want nothing to do with Mark McGwire. He gets a mixed review from the cash customers.
You know, fans put down money to watch guys like McGwire hit. That might even be some of the Royals fans booing.
Well, I saw him hit earlier. He hit one about 9 miles to left field.
Yeah, if you want to see him hit, get here for batting practice.
Oh, boy. Now with 43 home runs on the year, 9 as a Cardinal.
Now that's respect. When you got a right-handed pitcher walks a right-handed hitter to get to a lefty. That's why Tony La Russa shuffled their lineup a little bit to try to force people to face McGwire. But anytime you have a slugger of his quality, whether it's Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey Jr., or whatever, they're going to be passed intentionally with the game on the line a lot anyhow. But you want to keep that to a minimum if you can.
Well, technically, the guy that leads the Cardinals in home runs is the guy coming up now. Langford has 25 as a Cardinal. McGwire with 9 since joining the St. Louis team. So this is certainly a tough situation. You walk McGwire to get to the 4th place hitter. McGwire's at first. And Olson will deal with a tough left-handed batter. And a strike. Langford in the ball game is 1 for 3. A single. He has a strikeout. He's also walked.
Greg Olson over the last couple of years has added that straight changeup, Bob, and it has made a world of difference for him in his matchups against left-handed hitters. It was the changeup that he threw over for a called strike one.
1-1 now to Langford. Langford hitting .310 up to the moment. He's driven in 85 runs. Runner at third is the speedster DeShields. McGwire at first. The game is tied. 2 on, 2 out. And a ball and 2 strikes now on Langford. Tony Muser hoping Olson can get out of this and keep the game tied. We're in the 8th. It had to be like this, didn't it?
You wanted it like this.
6-all tie. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And hit a long way to right field down the line, and it is foul. And the count stays a ball and 2 strikes. And Olson gets a new baseball.
Most left-handed hitters, especially the power guys, are good low ball hitters. Very good low and on that inner part of the plate. And watch how he goes down and gets this curveball. A little bit too quick. He yanked it foul. But plenty of distance for the home run.
All eyes were on the right field corner. Again, the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Olson kept it away from him that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals scoring a run here in the 8th to tie it. They've got the go-ahead run at third with 2 out. 2-2 to Langford. Looking for his 86th run batted in on the year. Where was that pitch? It's 3-2. Olson thought he had him struck out. So did a lot of people, including some of those guys. Now it's 3-2. The expression tells the story. 3-2 to Langford. Olson has to make a big pitch once again. Watching Olson shake off a couple of signs, steps out. He doesn't have to give in to him. Although as the runner at first, a walk would load the bases, but the game would still be tied. Bruce Keeson on the left, Tony Muser on the right. Langford with 25 home runs. Here's the 3-2. He walked him. Well, those last 2 pitches were close. They're loaded up with 2 out.
So, Bob, you made a good point. The Royals had a base open. Now, it wasn't first base. It was second base. Greg Olson came back and made a couple pretty good pitches to Langford. Didn't get the call either time. But now he is painted into the corner where he's got to deal with Willie McGee.
Now the only guy on the 2 rosters who played in the '85 World Series will be the batter. Tony Muser looking on the Royals dugout. It's still tied at 6 apiece. With the fans roaring in the background on just about every pitch. Veteran matchup here, Olson against McGee. Willie McGee is 0 for 4. Foul ball, strike 1.
And again, Olson works with that straight change to a left-handed hitter. That's the pitch that he walked Langford on. When he needed to make a pitch, he went to his changeup. He got ahead in this at-bat with the straight change.
The base is loaded, 2 out, top of the 8th inning. McGee, a good man with runners in scoring position. Down in the count, 0-1. Hit hard, base hit. That'll score at least a couple. Langford is at third. They're going to wave him home, and it's going to clear the bases. McGee comes through with a bases-loaded triple. And the Cardinal fans who are here are loving it. Now the Royals dugout is hot at the home plate umpire. Oh, Willie McGee, what a veteran hitter he is. Look at this stroke. Now we talk about left-handed hitters being strong down and in. While he's not a power hitter, good contact hitter, got the curveball that looked like it was in a pretty decent location. DeShields scores. Right behind him comes McGwire. And then Ray Lankford. And when you get it into the corner and got the speed on the bases, it'll clear the bases every time. Cardinals now with a 3-run lead. There's McGwire scoring the 8th run of the game. And right behind him came Ray Lankford. And McGee, who is 0 for 4, gets a triple, the 3rd triple of the ball game for St. Louis. We talked early on about their team speed. It is now 9-6 Cardinals. They've scored 4 here in the 8th. And a bouncer to the left side. Palmer's got it. And the inning is finally over. But the Cardinals come from 1 down to take a 3-run lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Now 9-6 St. Louis. Cardinals with a big 4 spot in the top of the 8th inning have reclaimed the lead. Now lead it 9-6. The Royals unable to work out of the bases-loaded jam in the top half of the inning. Greg Olson really upset with the home plate umpire, Larry McCoy, for a couple pitches he thought he maybe should have had against Ray Lankford. Lankford walked on a 3-2 pitch. Willie McGee followed with a triple into the right field corner. Frustration starting to show there in Greg Olson. Willie McGee with the key triple, his 4th of the season. He picks up his 25th, 26th, and 27th RBIs of the season. Next television game on the Royals Television Network will be Labor Day. Noon start in Kansas City. WB29 will be the outlet for it. We'll also televise the 2nd and 3rd games of that 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds as interleague play continues. And a new pitcher has come on for the Cardinals. Curtis King now in the game, pitching to Chili Davis. King with some sparkling numbers. 3-0, an outstanding ERA. He's picked up the win in relief in 3 straight appearances. On now to work in the 8th inning. Royals are down by 3 runs all of a sudden. And 2-0 to Chili Davis. Attendance tonight, 36,006. Nowhere near a sellout. General admission was only about half full tonight. There's a ground ball hit hard, but right at the second baseman. DeShields, 1 gone in the Royal 8. Chili now 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Now the Cardinals with 4 runs in the 8th inning, regaining the lead.
The 3rd baseman, Dean Palmer.
And with 1 out and nobody on, Curtis King will pitch to Dean Palmer. King, a rookie, a tall guy, 6'5", 205, 26-year-old right-hander. Fly ball to right. Back goes Plantier. Near the track, 2 out.
Hey, fans, go to the Extreme with the Mountain Dew's new Extreme seats and get $4 off every $10 view level box seat. Look for the details on specially marked cans where Mountain Dew is sold.
9-6 Cardinals. Royals batting bottom of the 8th, 2 out, nobody on. Curtis King is the 4th pitcher used by the Cards. Here's ball 1 to King. Jeff King with a home run tonight, his 19th of the year. 1 for 2 with a walk. And a little tap, a ball and a strike. Greg Olson in the Royals dugout. Not pleased with the turn of events in the top half of this inning. That ball's hit hard and past Gaetti on into left field for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Jeff King. Well, the Royals have a runner with 2 out.
time was one of the best fielding third basemen in all of baseball, but a veteran now does not move as well as he used to. There was a time when he played back that deep, Bob, he would easily go another couple strides either way. Had very good range, good quickness. Not as quick now as he used to be, but still a solid player.
Jermaine Dye pops one up behind home plate, and no chance. It's back on the net. Lampkin now the catcher for the Cardinals. He pinch hit an inning ago for DeFelice. One strike to Jermaine Dye. Royals in need of base runners here in the 8th inning. They're down 3. And again, a foul out of play. 0-2 to Dye. Jermaine hit into a double play his first time up. He's 0 for 3. Hitting at 208. Slowly hit ground ball up the middle. Clayton with a short toss to DeShields, and the inning is over. Royals leave a base runner in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Cardinals lead it 9-6 here in Kansas City.
Tony Muser hoping his club can come from behind here tonight as we go on to the 9th inning. Royals will need at least 3, but before they get to the bottom of the 9th, they need to work through the top part of the inning. The Cardinals will send up their 7, 8, and 9 hitters, and Muser will get back into that Royals bullpen and come out with another pitcher. This is left-hander Jamie Walker appearing for the 42nd time this year. 3 up and 3 down with his record, a 5-point earned run average. Gives up a hit per inning pitch. Strikeouts and walks are very even. Jamie Walker, the top left-hander in the pen at the start of the season. Hasn't been used in the close ball games over the last month.
Well, the Cardinals have Dennis Eckersley up. Royals will probably see him in the bottom of the 9th. Here's a foul ball off the bat of Gant, strike 1. We talked about speed and power. The Cardinals have 3 triples and 2 home runs in this ball game. Sprinkled among their 11 hits and 9 runs. 0-2 to Gant. Gant 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. I want to remind you, the next couple of days, tomorrow night and Sunday, the 5,000 GA tickets that'll go on sale prior to the ball game. A great crowd tonight, but plenty of GA tickets went unused, so keep that in mind over the weekend. You can still be a part of this I-70 series. 1-2 to Ron Gant. Now it's 2-2. Jamie Walker out of the bullpen for the Royals. Now 3-2. Pitsley started, then Bonus, Wisenett, Carrasco, Olson, and now Walker. Jamie was ahead in the count 0-2. Now has to make a 3-2 pitch to Ron Gant leading off the 9th. And Gant spoils it. He'll do it again at 3-2. Pitching matchup here tomorrow night. Manny Ibar for the Cardinals and Tim Belcher for the Royals. Then Donovan Osborne and Glendon Rush on Sunday. Matchup of lefties. There's a strikeout of Gant. What do you make of that call? Let's take another look.
Now they're trying to go inside with the fastball. I believe it got the play to look like it was below the belt. Gant didn't like the call. He was looking for something on the outer half. He is leaning out of the way. Royals got that call. What they really needed was a call in the last half inning.
Now one gone in the Cardinal 9th. And the batter is Tom Lampkin, now the Cardinal catcher. He fouls it out of play, strike 1.
Tell you what, he had a huge at-bat in this ball game when he came on as a pinch hitter in the top of the 8th inning. He battled against Hector Carrasco and took the count out to 2-2 and fouled off a number of pitches, led off that inning with a single. Base hit will probably go overlooked because of a couple key base hits later on in the inning, but he got things going for St. Louis.
Yeah, the Cardinals had 2 of their 3 triples in the 8th. McGee and DeShields with 3 baggers. And a couple of walks figured in the mix. There's a strike call, 1-2. Royals have used half a dozen pitchers. Got a piece of it. Count stays 1-2 to Tom Lampkin. In the 9th, the Royals will have Benitez, Sweeney, and Damon due up. Tony Muser's team will need at least 3 runs to keep the ball game going. There's a strikeout of Lampkin. So Walker gets strikeouts in the first 2 batters he faces here in the 9th.
The right fielder, Bill Plantier.
Amy trying to get a little bit nasty when he got the 2 strikes. Dropped down, go more sidearm. Had it in a great location. Working it away from the left-handed hitter. Lampkin couldn't reach it. Now another left-handed batter. Bill Plantier. He has one of the 2 Cardinal home runs. There's ball 1 to him. Last time up, he hit a long drive to deep right center that Johnny Damon was able to catch. His home run came in the 6th. Fastball in for a strike. 9-6 St. Louis here in the 9th inning. Popped him up. That should be the inning. Jay Bell waiting for it to come down, and the Cardinals are retired in order in the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Royals need 3 runs. They'll probably see Dennis Eckersley. Cardinals lead at 9-6 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Their closer is on. This is the former Oakland A, Dennis Eckersley. The closer now for the St. Louis Cardinals. Make sure you stay tuned right here on Fox for the post-game show. Headlines in the post-game show will be a U.S. Open upset. A feature story on the Canucks. They've changed their roster. Also breaking down the AFC. First weekend of the NFL this weekend. All of it coming up on Fox Sports. Dennis Eckersley continues to pitch well now over in the National League. He's worked 42 innings this year while giving up just 41 base hits. No wins against 4 losses, but he does have 30 saves. 3.64 earned run average. That's pretty high compared to what he used to in the American League, but he still doesn't walk many people. 36 strikeouts. He's walked only 3. Eckersley doesn't throw as hard as he did several years ago, but still a quality guy. Works with a fastball and a slider. Always has the ball down around the knees with good movement on it.
He had 30 saves for the Cardinals last year. All-time saves leader among active players. And he deals to Benitez in a fly ball to left. Gant waiting for it to come down. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Jamil Benitez hacking away at the first pitch from the Eck. And there's 1 gone in the 9th. 9-6 St. Louis. Royals down to their final 2 outs. Tony Muser, after seeing his team win 2 of 3 in Baltimore, now playing a home series with the Cardinals. The Redbirds have a 3-run lead here in the 9th inning. Sweeney swings and hits a foul ball. Sweeney has a base hit in the game. Tony Muser saw the Chicago Cubs battle the Cardinals numerous times in recent years. He was on the Cubs coaching staff. There's a fly ball to left, pretty well struck. Back goes Gant, still going. Home run! Sweeney knocks it out of the ballpark. And it's now a 9-7 ball game.
Well, the Royals still alive. alive in this one as Mike Swinney unloads his 6th of the year. Went after a breaking ball in the outer part of the plate. And let's take a look at this Nissan home run rerun. Enjoy this ride. Eckersley delivers the breaking ball, got it to the outer part. Swinney got through it and got it just over the fence, just to the right of the 375-foot sign. And the Royals now trail it by 2.
Out of the top of the order. Johnny Damon's the batter. Dennis Eckersley trying to close it out for the Cardinals. 2-1 to Damon. 1 out in the inning. Tony La Russa hoping the veteran can close the game. Did you read the book Men at Work, written by George Will, the manager he followed in the book? None other than La Russa. 3-1 to Damon. And Eckersley walked him.
That's what the Royals needed, an opportunity to tie the game. Mike Swinney put a run on the board already. There's your base runner. Potential tying run now comes to the plate. Dennis Eckersley, in the final year of his contract, will make a decision at the end of this year as to whether he's going to come back for next season. Eckersley with 23 years in the big league. He's now 42 years old. He's just given up his 4th walk of the season. That's an incredible number. That's amazing that a guy can go out and work as often as he does and walk nobody any more than what he does.
Well, you don't see Eckersley give up home runs very much. You don't see him walk many people. Both have occurred in this inning. Dave Duncan's out to the mound to talk to Eckersley.
Well, they want to talk about the pinch hitter. Royals are going to go to the bench. Larry Sutton, who has been used several times this year as a pinch hitter, and he has had some success in that role. So the Cardinals want to talk about Sutton. Tony Muser goes to his bench. One last-ditch effort to get back into this one.
Well, Sutton had a 3-run pinch hit home run off Baltimore's Terry Matthews in the 9th inning yesterday after the rain squall. There's Fossis warming up now in the bullpen. Tony Fossis, veteran left-hander for the Cardinals. 9-7 St. Louis, a runner at first, 1 out. And Larry Sutton, the batter for Kansas City. Ball 1.
Sutton, not known as a huge power hitter coming through the minor league system, although he did have good numbers. More of a line drive hitter, left center, right center, but the Cardinal outfield are going to play very deep against him.
They weren't holding Damon on. He goes to second. Royals need 2 runs to tie. Now 2-0 to Sutton. Sutton hit 19 home runs at Omaha this year. 3-0. Another bad one here puts the tying runs on for Jay Bell. Tony La Russa thinking it over. Walked him.
Isn't it supposed to be like this?
My goodness.
Well, this is unusual to see Eckersley, who had walked just 3 batters all season long, now back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the 9th. This ball up and away. Sutton walks on 4 pitches.
Dennis Eckersley trying to figure things out. Jay Bell has 20 home runs. Popped up. Shallow right. On comes Plantier. 2 out. Well, Jay took a whack at the first pitch after the 2 batters ahead of him had drawn walks.
Well, if it's going to come down to this is what the Cardinals want in Dennis Eckersley. What the Royals want is Chili Davis.
Yes, sir.
And Tony Muser has his man in the batter's box right now. Nobody hotter on the Royals team right now than Chili Davis.
Well, it's come down to this. An out would end it. So would a home run with different results. Royals down by 2, 9-7. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 9th inning. Chili Davis has 27 home runs. 0 for 2 tonight. A strike. Took a little off and got it in there. You like veteran matchups? You got one right here. One strike to Chili. One and one. Mike Sweeney homered with one out here in the inning to pull the Royals within 2. Chili's done well with runners in scoring position. He's been extremely hot of late. Tony La Russa hoping his man Eckersley can close the door. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chili. And a ground ball is foul. Eckersley got over in a big hurry. Chili could see it was foul. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes. And Eckersley, after walking 2 men uncharacteristically here in this inning, now ahead in the count to Chili Davis.
Early in his career, Dennis Eckersley would just get right after a hitter. If it was 0-2, he'd try to strike you out on 3 pitches. Now that he doesn't have quite the velocity and movement, he nibbles a little bit more. Then stretch out the count a little bit, see if he can get Chili to chase a bad one instead of getting right after him.
And a drive right at the second baseman. That should end the ball game. DeShields to first, and the game is over. And the Cardinals hang on and win it 9-7. Sweeney with a 9th inning home run. He's upset. The Royals are unable to come back and tie it here in the 9th. Eckersley staggers, but he ends the ball game, and the Cardinals win game 1 of this 3-game series. The final score 9-7.
Well, disappointed you lose the ball game. It's certainly not disappointed if you're a fan of baseball. Great show here tonight by both clubs. Still 2 games left this weekend. A lot more fun in store over the next 2 days.
Well, I hope to see you here tomorrow night. There are GA tickets available. The Cardinals win it here tonight, 9-7. For Paul Splittorff, this is Bob Davis saying good night from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.